12 and even 13 speed and a 2x in the front. That's very possible.
Why do you think the change has started to come in with so many riders, especially in the World Tour, professional riders, and here opting to go for a 1x? What's the benefit?
Well, I think what made it possible is the continuing increase of cogs in the back. Like, I don't know if anyone really remembers, but it started off as 5-speed.
Yeah.
And now we're up to 12 and 13 speed. So that has made it possible in a lot of races, not all of them, but a lot of them, to go to that single chain ring, which, you get rid of your front derailleur. It's another thing that can and has gone wrong in the past. It cuts a little bit of weight.
Well, hello to anybody who's here watching.
It makes things simpler. So
first ever live stream.
A race, like Paris-Roubaix that just happened. Oh, we see some
new little studio I'm trying to work on here.
I believe that's John Borselman. He was actually dropped from the breakaway, came back, and now he's attacking again. So a lot of fighting spirit from him. I love to see it.
Really, really trying to
make sure that thing's fully live there.
It's got a lot of character, like I said.
Watching a little race from family friend Luke Lamperty, who's out racing in California for EF Education.
Up and down, little descents.
This is a California race, so
it's a great opportunity to gain time.
This is called the
that's looking at each other, back behind
the Levi's Gran Fondo.
Luke, they're looking at each other. So
my wife, she watches religiously, along with my mother-in-law, who are real close friends to his parents. We've watched Luke grow up, and so he's riding in this race back home in California.
The rider who took 3rd place 1 year ago is looking to try and break away and get up the road and put himself in a position where he can get back onto the podium.
Anybody here, drop a comment, just so I can see how this all works, and see if I can see your comments and stuff.
For a long, long period of time, it's been the same rider on the front trying to bring KEVman back here. But
like I said, this is my first time ever going live and seeing how all this stuff works. And then once I figure it all out, and maybe jump in with some of the other people that y'all see me associate with. So,
as just shown, really hard to stay away from the group, but it's a case of riders just being ejected one by one.
Does it sound good? Can you hear me, or is the volume on the stream? The bicycle race, is it too loud to the point where you can't see or hear me?
Behind her, Haley Preen, she's been looking really good so far.
And if anybody wants to call in or come into the stream also, let me know. I've got
have such an effect on riders who are returning for the
link I can send you
to race the Growler. Because you know what to expect, you know the route.
Yeah.
You can learn from potentially some mistakes that you made last year or 2 years ago, and you can put it to right this year around. And so you've got that added advantage.
Exactly. Like exactly what Alexi was telling me this morning. You learned a lot from last year.
I think if
just need to be a little more patient.
Somebody comments, it should pop up there.
It's easier said than done sometimes, though, isn't it? When you get excited and you know you've got to try and remain patient.
Take this full screen so I can see the comments, I guess.
Like
okay, I see my comment down there. So again, if anybody wants to comment, just so I can see and know. The looks like we do have some stream issues sometimes from the actual race people. So
yeah, maybe they caught that.
They're back.
Was away.
Yeah, it looks as though the 4 riders have been caught. Cole Kessler in this maroon jersey of Modern Adventure Pro Cycling going off the front.
So yeah, this is a race out in California. I'm not fully familiar exactly with everything about the race, but
is it Brennan? Yeah, you're right.
Watching for our favorite rider, Luke Lamperty.
2 diesels.
Well, while we see these two riders trying
Shows
to
that we got 16 people watching.
Don't go anywhere.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
Again, this is my very first stream ever. I've never went live and trying to figure all this stuff out. So you got to start somewhere, right? I keep telling everybody, hey, just pick up a camera and do it. And here we are. You just got to turn on your camera and do it. So we'll see how all this works and happens and all that good stuff. So I'm using StreamYard to go live here. So just trying it all out. So again, if you're seeing this, feel free to drop a comment over there, just something so I can see how the comments and stuff work.
Yeah, it's Cole Kessler.
Let me know where you're watching me from. Again, this is a restream. This is not my footage here. You can see there on the stream whose actual footage it is. This is a bicycle race out in California.
Early days breakaway. Managed to get themselves over that climb. Still looking really, really good. And this is similar scenarios to what we saw a year ago.
Are you hearing me well? Can anybody verify that you're hearing me?
I don't think he made it this far with the main group. He was very aggressive in the beginning last year, but he ended up getting left behind on Skag. So he's riding really well this year. I'd love to see it. Part of this team Skipstone. Yeah, this is a great duo to have up the road.
Occasionally you may see me turn off my stream, the video of me here on the actual stream.
It looks like they've got about 15 seconds over the...
I may turn off the mic, may turn off the video at times. So
like Cole Kessler, like Luke Lamperti, where ordinarily they're racing with their professional teams, where they have a mechanic to take care of their bike. They've got a soigneur who can give them.
They showed Luke a little bit ago. I don't see him in there right now. He's wearing a pink jersey. It says EF on the back of it. He is a professional rider for EF Education. Easy Post is the team he rides for.
Driven to the start of a race, whereas this is totally unsupported. How different is that for a rider to manage?
Yeah, I mean, this is where the gravel guys like Keegan and Pete, Lexi, they have an advantage over someone like Luke, who isn't in the habit, in the practice of organizing that and calculating everything for themselves. Not to say he can't, but it is.
Luke was back in the back of the
with Luke yesterday about that exact topic. What did he say?
The groups here. I don't know if he's in Chase Group 1 or 2.
Go back to when he was a youth rider, junior rider, and saying how different it was because you get so used to.
Looks like
your team personnel within your
the men's lead is 20 seconds ahead of the group. So
to really focus on the race, where he was thinking, I actually need to think about what time do I need to leave in the morning from home. How long
that is not Luke there. I think he's number 25.
I need to make sure that I've got enough.
I think it's what I saw earlier. His
the duration of the race. Make sure that I've got
number is 25.
The personal feed zone that the riders have already been and passed through.
But Luke grew up riding these areas right here
as well.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it.
It's not uncommon for him to ride 100 miles just on a little warm up, and that was his training. He used to ride 100 miles from his house, which I'm not going to give out that information, so you won't hear me say it. But he used to ride from his house up to the place where my actual in-laws live in the same area where his mom and dad are. They have property up there.
Spring Classics campaign with EF Education Easy Post. Came back from Paris-Roubaix, and then he's home for three and a half weeks or so. But in the build-up to
back there, he is in the back there.
A little bit under the weather. He said he's been a little bit sick post-Classics.
Got 22 people watching. Anybody want to make a comment so I can
under the belt? But He's
See
looking
it?
good, isn't he? And he was looking really comfortable.
There's Luke right there in the center there. He just
he knows exactly
grabbed his
how
drink
he needs
there.
to try and race this conservatively.
See if
And
I can
the riders that he needs to watch out for.
show my cursor here.
When it really comes down to it, they need to drop Luke.
He's back there.
Over the geysers, they have a really
It's Luke right back there.
Hands. But he told me that he just took a week off the bike after Roubaix. He's a little bit sick. He just needed a break.
Take this banner off.
On form since the Tour Down Under in Australia in January. You know, he's most likely going to be in the Tour de France. So now is the time for him to take a break. He just took that break. So today's a big unknown. Like, he could be super fresh and just. So
if any of you guys are just looking for something to watch, there's Luke right there. Luke Lamperti, professional cycle rider, family friend of my wife and my family. So he's riding in a lot of big events overseas right now, over in Europe and those countries.
And the lead is increasing. So, you know,
the crazy part is they're usually televised. Let me turn it down just a little bit. The live streams of these actual races, like he's in California right now, so he's here on United States times, but you know, over there they're 12 some hours sometimes ahead. And so the race event will come on at like 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning here. And my wife religiously will watch them. You know, she's a big supporter. He actually has sent her some neat mementos from some of his race events that she'll cherish forever. So, but yeah, thank you everybody for being here. Again, this is my very first ever live stream. Trying to figure out how all this stuff works. Trying to figure out how the comments come up, which let me check. I guess I can pull up my X and see if anybody's seeing me, giving me some feedback. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Everything look good? Drop some comments so that I can see those. See how that works.
Gravel here. It's technical. It's twisty. It's narrow, and they're obviously out of sight. 51 seconds, and it's left and right and up and down. But the real climbing doesn't start for a while still.
And you can see far better to be on the right hand side. How much of
I hope to start doing more live streams. Like I said, I've been working on getting this little area set up, getting my computer set up over here so I can start doing some live streams for everybody. I'm obviously not like everybody else. My streams obviously will be a little different until I get there and things are a little bit more under control, because again, I'm just not used to doing it, but you got to start somewhere. So this is a start, and 25 people are here. It looks like on my end shows 25 people are watching. So thank you all for being here.
I know he was excited to see what it's all about. I mean, this group has been whittled down to the strongest riders. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens.
Alexa Vermeulen's in the group still, as is Kent Ross, number 77 in that green.
I'm just saying, if I had to do this, I think I'd have to ask them if they'd let me ride my e-bike, which that defeats the purpose. Yeah, I understand. But there's no way I could could compete with these guys, obviously. And there's ladies racing right now at the same time. I don't know if they started them a little bit later or different or what the deal is. So.
I've spent so much of my life training on these roads, and it's really great to see these guys out here and enjoying it as well.
What is it about this route and this area and this county that makes racing and riding, training, being here so special?
I mean, when I moved to Sonoma County in 1996, I was blown away.
Okay, so they're in Sonoma. Let me turn the volume up a little bit.
Years to ride all of the roads and to learn the roads, and that
turn up to about half. So
it was a lifetime experience I'll always remember. Just every day is an adventure. I would love to just the night before kind of in my head figure out where I was going to go and where I was going to fit in my training, and it was a joy. Really
Hang
was.
tight. I'm going to turn the camera off for
And
1
because there's
second
so
here.
many roads and so many beautiful roads, brilliant training roads, you never get bored of riding the same loops because every day can be different.
Absolutely. I've ridden this road here in sideways rain and 100-degree heat and dense fog, and with so many people in my career that so many good memories. And this place inspired me to push myself and to become a better rider. And I owe a lot to Sonoma County and the community that helped me in my career.
It's a very, very special community, and you've given me an opportunity to see a glimpse of what it's like. That is absolutely stunning. What a shot. Just take that in. Look at the countryside.
Yeah, and they're already over a minute, so that's promising for
Sonoma's a beautiful place. That's for sure.
Well, they've given themselves, 15, 16 seconds.
I'm amazed that they're actually
down to the fact that
they're not having as many issues as you would think.
Geysers. Oh man!
In them doing a stream from here, so
operators are doing an amazing job.
Again, this is a live stream of the people who are actually broadcasting this. This is not my footage.
Time here because it's absolutely stunning. What a wonderful place to be, and what a beautiful setting. But for these riders, no time to take it all in.
No, it's never like that. They're locked in, they're focused, they're on the limit.
So again, I'm not seeing comments and stuff like that. I don't know that if people are leaving comments, they're not showing on my side. I'm only showing, my comment there. So I don't know if you have to be maybe in the stream in order for me to see your comments. So again, I'm just trying to learn and figure this stuff out and trying to do it as we go. So
I think they're going to succeed and climb the ranks, and hopefully we see them.
Let me open my X here on my phone. There you go. Hey, Frosty from X. Okay, thank you, Frosty, for putting a comment there so I can see it. Thanks for being here, sir. I appreciate you. And it does show up on the screen over there. So is the sounds, is the stream, the race sound too loud when I'm talking? Do I need to cut it down so that you can hear me?
Having that distance in the legs is only going to help today.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, I know it was extremely fast Roubaix, and so you could say, well, it was only 5.5 hours or whatever it was. But I mean, imagine Paris-Roubaix at 49 kilometers an hour.
I know that I've
yeah, that sets you up pretty well for.
I made the comment, and I know me and you have had a couple discussions on it.
It says 4,200 meters of climbing. But
perfect, thank you, sir. So this is using the StreamYard to broadcast this. And again, this is my very first one, so thanks for being here. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for letting me know everything is working good. My wife had sent me a text, let me know that this race was going on, and there's Luke right there in the center. For everybody who's just getting here, a family friend of ours, Luke Lamperti, is a professional bicycle rider for the team EF Education Easy Post. And he's back home in California right now. They're riding here in Sonoma County. He's doing a race here.
She looks like she's in a bit of pain and discomfort here, Kate Courtney.
So I thought I'd just try to, I wanted to watch a little bit of this, in which we can switch to something else. So I appreciate it, Frosty. Yeah, I was wondering if it was going to actually show up out there as a notification. Let me bring this a little bigger screen here so I can see. I can see the comments over here to the side, but I can't see the actual stream because it's a little bit smaller. So if you're not used to streaming, it just takes a minute. Okay, so it does show that you're posting from X, and my comment was from the YouTube side, which is weird. So again, sometimes you will see these bufferings happen. that is coming from their actual, their side of the house from their live stream. So
I like how smooth and relaxed she is.
She's got a brilliant pedaling style, hasn't she?
Yeah.
we have 33 people live now. So
looks really in control.
Thank you all for being here. Again, this is my very first stream and trying to figure everything out. Trying to see how things work. I've got some pre-made banners that I'll show up here on the screen just to, you've got a live discussion banner that I've made. Got your different support banners, that you can throw up for people.
If you're not used to it, so I don't know if she got dropped on one of the descents or.
Got the live ticker up there for the call-in deal that I can put people on if people want to call into the stream. Eventually, we'll be doing some of that stuff, which that is my Google Voice number. So it would call in. It connects via the computer so that I can bring people live into calls and stuff like that. So those are those different banners and things to add to the stream.
Your immune system off and throw your body out of whack. So it's good.
It's just a matter of doing it and figuring it out and trying to figure out how all these different, like I can make myself bigger there. I can put myself into the actual box there, make it go full stream. So it's just a matter of getting in here and doing it and trying to figure it out, because again, it's it takes a minute to get used to and know what different stuff does what. But I mean, hey, we've made it to 22 minutes. 22 minutes in our first stream. So we'll eventually get there.
Yeah, Samara with the black sleeves, the white gilet on, wind vest.
Just I figure out what my actual layout was.
We didn't see maybe what had happened before, because it looks as though, as you say, Levi, he's actually coming back. So maybe he suffered a slight issue.
Sometimes it's hard to figure stuff out. I mean, because you have so many different options. And we'll go with that one so you can see the whole screen, so you can see what they're seeing there in the race.
Brennan looks great today. I love to see it.
So again, for all my friends who I've talked to and told, hey, you just got to pick up your camera and start recording and doing YouTube videos and all that good stuff. That's the easiest thing to do is just, take your phone and start talking to your phone yourself, recording yourself, going back and playing it, looking at it, going, okay, I like how I did this, how I did that, getting used to it. You don't ever have to post it. It doesn't have to be live. Just get used to talking to yourself and seeing how, you sound. And trust me, everybody, whenever you first hear yourself on a stream or something like that, you always think, God, I sound like a retard. I'm not doing it. Sorry for using the R word there. I'm sorry. But, you just think less of yourself. And so it's just a matter of, because it's something new to you. It's no different than me bringing all this up in here and setting it up earlier. I was telling my wife, I'm like, I don't know if I like it in here in this room, because I'm sort of by myself and just, I'm not out in the open. I don't feel like myself being stuck in a room by myself. So, when you get out of your normal routine, things get different. It just takes a minute to get used to doing things again and better and easier. And it'll become natural to you. So, everybody knows, and I've made it quite clear that this is my first stream. I talked to JLR the other day live on his stream, just in voice on a phone call. And the first time I called, I was nervous, and I was like, everybody can hear me, but you guys know me. You all talk to me on X and all that stuff. So take it to the next step. Now we're live. We're doing a live stream here, so you guys get to actually see me. You guys have watched me on YouTube on my channel. You know, I don't even know how many I got, less than 200 people that follow me on YouTube now. So it's always been recorded videos that I've thrown up to show you guys stuff. So maybe turn this down a little bit. Frosty, if you're still here. Is it hard to hear me over the stream should I mute the stream of the bicycle race while I'm talking? Or can you hear me good enough? Anybody? Hey, we're up to 46 viewers, so thank you again for everybody being here.
Yeah, this is a really difficult section of Skaggs. You can see how steep it is. They're out of the saddle. This camera angle is...
It's different because my camera is right there. My screen is over here for me to see the actual what I'm showing you guys, and the actual bicycle race stream is over here. So I have 3 monitors, and my TV is up there. That, like, for weather and stuff like that, I can at least watch. And I was thinking about it. I maybe plan to, you know, maybe jump in if JLR decides he's gonna stay a tornado chaser. I wasn't going to send him in the other night to something that could kill him. I mean, that just, it's one thing to chase a tornado in Oklahoma when you can see it in the daytime, you can see everything around. And if you've lived in Oklahoma, which I've got plenty of friends here that live here in Oklahoma, will tell you that even our veteran storm chasing folks from, you know, the different media outlets, News 9, KOCO 5, you know, Channel 4, what's that, KFOR? Yeah, KFOR. You know, they still have issues because there's just so many people out on the roads that they can't get out there and do their jobs because there's so many people. And I'm not knocking storm chasers and all that stuff, to each his own. But, you know, whenever everybody gets out there and starts blocking the roads, it's just, it can be deadly for everybody involved. So, but, you know, if JLR is going to start, you know, Oklahoma, this area right here that I live, which everybody knows I live in Norman. I'm actually 10 miles down from the National Weather Service here in Norman, Oklahoma. So I'm a transplant from North Carolina. I grew up in the mountains of Western North Carolina, a little town called Marion, North Carolina is where I hail from. Spent the first 18 years of my life in Marion. I joined the Marine Corps, served my country. And again, I appreciate everybody who always tells me, thank you for your service and all that good stuff. It was my honor to get to serve in a time. I served from 92 to 96 in the Marine Corps. I was a military policeman. So for all you stolen valor people out there, I'll keep it clean on my first stream. Yeah, y'all know what y'all can do with it. I ain't got to prove nothing to you, by the way. I ain't got to prove nothing to you. So if you want to believe that stolen valor stuff, you go right ahead. But, you know, Oklahoma's a different place, and people are like, well, you know, I know back when I first moved to Oklahoma, people were saying, you know, why are you moving to Oklahoma? There's tornadoes and stuff out there. Well, now that I've lived here for almost 30 years of my life, you know, days in advance. I mean, most times it's usually a week. They're going to say, hey, looks like next week on Thursday, the weather's going to be bad. Y'all need to be paying attention. As it gets closer and closer to that day, you know, things definitely, people start paying attention. You can feel it in the air. Once you've lived in Oklahoma and Arkansas and these areas where we get tornadoes, you know, frequently, it's one of those things where you can sense it. You can feel it. You can walk outside and know that it feels like today's going to be a tornado day, just based off the moisture in the air, the heat, all these different things. So it's just one of those things where you get used to it. Whereas earthquakes and stuff like that, earthquakes happen and, you know, you're just sitting here on a live stream and the daggum house falls on your head. So, you know, it's just one of those things where they can't predict earthquakes, but at least we know days in advance. You know, a tornado can't just drop out of the sky. It has to have a thunderstorm, a mesocyclone to produce a tornado. So, you know, when all that stuff's going to happen. So I said all that to go back and say that maybe one day I'll start, you know, maybe assisting JLR in his tornado chasing days and adventures, to give him some live radar updates. Maybe we can collaborate, and I can throw from the studio here. I can give the radar information, and he can put it out there. I can share my screen to his stream at the same time, give him live radar updates, and assist him in that. So hopefully that'll work out. But again, I wanted to jump on here. We're up to 55 people watching live now. For all you guys who are just getting here, welcome to Captain KEVman's first live stream ever on the YouTubes and X. We're live. So, I appreciate you guys being here. We're learning this all together. So bear with me, and I'll try to keep doing this more and more. I had to put together my little studio here, getting everything set up. So we're working on all that stuff. So I appreciate the comments. Again, I'm just seeing how all this stuff works. That's why I chose to live stream this race here. So for anybody coming in, this is a race out in Sonoma County, California, that's live right now. Personal friend of ours, Luke Lamperty, he's racing in this race. He races for professional cycling team, EF Education, Easy Post. And he is just coming back from California, back to California from some overseas races over in Europe and France and Italy and all those different places. I forget where all they've been racing, but they've been on a tight schedule here lately, just riding all the time. So I think that's him back there. Can't tell. I think he's number 25. So again, I appreciate everybody being here. Drop me a comment. Tell me what you think. Give me your feedback on the stream. And I appreciate Frosty letting me have some feedback there. That is not Luke there. Number 41. Luke is 25, I do believe. He's obviously not on that right stream. That's the women's lead. And here's the men's lead group on the left. So,
yeah, I think it's very exciting for everyone.
Yeah.
They're out there sharing the experience together. Looks like
plan on doing this more.
Let the leads come by without interfering with it, but
thank you, Miss Sweet Caroline.
Some of the best riders in the world.
Glad to see you here. Thank you for the comment. I appreciate you being here. Oh, so let me try this too. So I know you can see the comments there. I think, can you guys see everybody's comments there as they come up? And then I guess I can also click on, there you go. Okay, perfect. So I can show y'all's comments there. I can click on those. So I appreciate you for commenting. And again, this is how you learn it, is you just got to pick up that camera and start recording yourself and get used to that and decide that you're going to do a live stream, and then you'll find yourself here, buddy Frosty. So follow him on X if you guys want somebody else to follow. I know he has a YouTube. So again, I appreciate you guys commenting just so I can see how it looks, what all it entails. If I need to, let me check that. I'm gonna post your comment again just so I can see. Does it move me up? Okay, it does move me up. So
it's so rewarding. I can only imagine how it feels for you to see this event be so.
Yeah, it's just a matter of sitting down and deciding that you're wanting to do something, and which is what I did. I decided I want to start doing live streaming and all that good stuff. I wanted to try it out, and it's been a couple months, I guess. I've been telling you guys I want to do this, and finally I've just decided that, you know what? I've spent the money on, I built me a nice desk set up here and all this different stuff, got my computer and stuff moved into this this area here I'm going to call my studio, which, you know, that's why I've still got a background image there, because I do have stuff behind me. I've got a ton of my 3D prints back there. You guys have all, you know, been hearing me talking about 3D prints and all that stuff. So eventually I'll start showing some of that. But until I get a chance to get all that stuff set up, I've still got a large trundle type bed, I guess my wife has back here. We got to get that moved out. Anybody looking for a nice brand new, been used barely a year, big bunk bed set. It's got an upper and a lower bunk bed. Hit me up if you're local here to Oklahoma. But once I get all that stuff set up on the other side behind me, I'm going to set up my art studio, start doing some of my models and all that stuff. I know some of you have seen my ET, which he's actually back here, but he's behind the background, so you can't see him. So eventually I'll get him and show him to everybody. So, and he's a life-size ET. He's about, what, 3 foot tall? So I just got a little airbrush set yesterday. I'm going to try to learn how to airbrush, and I may make some videos on that. And that way I can do some of my modeling with airbrush. There's just a lot of stuff, you know. You just got to decide you're going to do something and get into it and start doing it. So, which is what I've decided. You know, it's one of those things where you make the decision you're going to do something, stick with your guns and do it. So that's why I'm here. So hang tight. I'm going to turn off the camera and the mic for a second. I'll let you watch a little bit of this race, and I'll be right back within a minute or two.
I believe they had 3 minutes at the top. So, you know, long ways to go. It's still possible, even this 3-minute gap right now. It's been erased in the past, and it most likely will again. But we're going to have to see some real action coming up here from this group.
The question is, who wants to take it up? Who wants to?
Yeah, I predict Matt Beers is going to be the first one to light the fuse. Although it would be important for Keegan to have Matt in the group still over the top. So, you know, how do they play that? Do they risk giving up a little more time to save Matt over the top, or do they just send him to the front?
Once they get to the bottom of the descent, after they've climbed the geysers, there's still time to be able to close this deficit. But it's going to be touch and go.
Yeah, well, it depends. If these three are still together and they still have gas,
okay,
it's going to be really difficult.
So it looks like they got 42 miles to go here. So
these three leaders are on the geysers climb, which
just got a long way to go on the actual race. So
as you can see right here, it's about 4 or 5%.
I could post here. I'll post the actual link to where I'm getting my video from right here in my comments, in case you wanted to go back and watch the actual race without my commentary involved. There you go. There's the actual link to the race. I don't know if it posted a link, if it just gave the actual, you probably have to copy and paste that. I don't think you can click it from inside the link, but that's where I'm actually getting the stream from. So want to make sure they receive credit for their video stream. And of course, you know, hey, want to make sure I do everything right, because everybody knows all my favorite haters on X will be gladly reporting me for something. So, you know, it's crazy that people will report you just for being friends with an individual, whether it be, you know, JLR, Criminal Network, Damien, 857 Tucson, you know, whether you're friends with them and they just don't like what you say, they'll report you for anything. I literally had people report me for violent comments, and I just couldn't figure out where I went back and said something violent. I'm not a violent person.
I don't know if anyone caught it, but we had a little bit of an argument.
You know, it's one of those things where I've made sure I've never been a violent kind of person, you know, but hey, I guess they feel that way just because it makes them get the warm and fuzzies. So they can feel that way if they want to.
I can't wait to hear him eat his words.
But I was jokingly, I posted I was going to change my name to Freak Finder because I post anything content wise. I mean, it's one of those things where my first post that went over 10,000 views, I guess, is the clip I made of gosh, what's his name? Dolly Vision. I'm the one who posted that copy of Dolly Vision whenever he was out there in Tucson, whenever doing the Nancy Guthrie case, looking for, the SWAT call. And Dolly was on his stream, and somebody had said something, so I went to his stream. I'd never even heard of Dolly. Again, I'm not a original true crimer. After you work in it for a long time, it never was something that I just sat and watched all the time. So the LA riots is when I first started watching stuff. I was watching, that's how I found JLR. I was watching some stuff, and I posted some clips of his videos. But I originally posted Dolly's video, just a clip of him saying that he saw somebody who unalived themselves. And so when I posted that video, it got like 200,000 views. And so let me turn this volume down so you can hear just me. Hopefully that'll help. Maybe that better. Can somebody tell me if that's better? Not trying to talk over the audio of the stream. So yeah, I posted that video of Dolly Vision, who, it got almost 200,000 views and all that good stuff. And I'm like, okay, well, this is sort of neat. Well, then as, different stuff happened, I started clipping JLR stuff and posting it. And, I wasn't necessarily there for the commentary and all that different stuff. I was just posting clips to give people a chance to see all the different stuff that they, I have the ability to sit at home and just watch YouTube all day. So not everybody can do that. And so I was just trying to clip the different parts to give them like calls and all that stuff. And in case anybody's watching the stream, that's Luke right there in that second place in the video. I don't know if he's in second place right now, but that is him in the video. So a lot of people have told me they like, hey, that I clip stuff so that they can see just the sections. They don't have to see all the stuff in between. So I started clipping more of JLR stuff. And the more I clipped, the more haters I got. So, and then throughout the course of all the other stuff, hey, people get upset whenever you try to choose sides. And so I tried to stay impartial with all the personal life stuff they got going on. That stuff don't bother me. It has no effect on me. That's their personal life. I'm not going to talk about it. So I post and clip stuff from them, from many other people. And then I started, posting clips from the southernmost point. And those videos, I mean, some of my video clips from there, and it's a 24/7 live camera stream that you can go, just no different than this bicycle race. It's live on YouTube. It's live on YouTube 24/7. I go in there, spend the time to sit and watch and clip stuff. And, I had 2 different posts last week, maybe the week before. They had 5 million views each on those clips. And so, everybody knows it's been no secret that, yeah, I'm monetized on X. I'm down on the bottom of the barrel. I'm just starting out. And once you become monetized and you realize that, hey, you can get paid for it. Well, if you've noticed my stuff from today, there's a lot of stuff going on X that a lot of people are upset, especially the people who are monetized. Before I was monetized, I'm no different than anybody else that's on X. I'm there for the purpose of being on X. Facebook wasn't, helping me out trying to get out my photography stuff. So I decided that, hey, I'd come over here and try X. And so, I mean, I had 18,000 images of my content on Facebook, and I just wasn't getting. Facebook's more of a local thing to you. People are around you. X is worldwide. So you you can put out a tweet on. I don't wonder why we still call it a tweet, because it started out as Twitter. It's just weird. So now you can just put out an X. That just sounds weird. I'm on X, just putting out an X. So I guess we still call it a tweet. But anyway, so you can put out a tweet, and I mean, it can go around the world in no time. You know, I have plenty of people. Shout out to my Scottish friends. There's a couple of you ladies from over in Scotland, followers on X, I think. Are you still there? I haven't seen you guys in a little bit. I see your stuff, but I haven't heard from you. So anyway, y'all know who y'all are. So I appreciate y'all for sticking with me. But yeah, I mean, you can put out a post on X and it go worldwide in no time. And so now with the big crackdown happening on X, everybody's complaining, especially the people who are monetized. And I mean, that's the purpose we're putting out content. And so, you know, it's never been my content other than my clips and stuff like that. So now I can say I've got content because, hey, I'm on X and YouTube Live right now. So matter of fact, if you're watching me live on YouTube, which I don't know anybody that would be, I don't know how it all works, but I know I've got people from X because I can see actually Miss Sweet Caroline says her comments from YouTube. So if you're seeing me live on YouTube, just drop a comment of something, hello or something like that, just so I can see that the comments are actually coming from YouTube and from X, because it does label it as where the comment come from. So again, I didn't even know I could go live on YouTube because I have less than, you know, how many ever followers that is required for YouTube. So, but that'll just prove the point to some of the people who are just starting out, who think that you have to have so many followers on YouTube before you can go live on YouTube. This will help us prove that point, that no, you don't. You just got to pick up set up your camera and decide to hit the go live. Again, I use an intermediary service like StreamYard here, so that I can go live on X and YouTube at the same time. So it is a paid service, and I forget what it was, but I do have to pay for StreamYard. You know, I pay for X to be there. So, you know, it is required, but if you get some return on your investment, then it'll keep you deciding that, hey, you want to do this. So again, right now live, it looks like we have 74 people who are actively watching. Thank you all for being here. Let me go back up to my top comment. Here, I'll put that on screen. Hello, friends. So just trying to figure all this stuff out, and that's what we're doing. So let me turn up the stream here. Let's see what they're saying. Let me make sure we're live here, because
it has definitely evolved from my time in the Peloton. There were definitely days where we were super aware.
They're in a bad coverage area here, it looks like, but it shows
it's tracked a lot better, and
42.2 miles.
You know,
still
every day. Like we weren't as on top of it every day as they are now. We were probably underfueled, and nowadays.
Let me turn this down here. Let's talk about something. So
during my day, it was a lot about power to weight.
Thinking about for all my true crime friends here, thinking about some of the stuff Richard Nolette was saying. Lake Berryessa is up here. Not right here on this road, but it's up in this area. And he was saying that they used to go up there, and he was saying there's bodies in there and all that stuff. I know exactly where Lake Berryessa is at. And it's very interesting, some of the stuff he said. So, you know, while we're watching the bicycle race and we're talking true crime and all that stuff, again, I know a lot of you guys are followers of mine on X because of true crime and all that stuff, and I appreciate you guys. But some of the stuff he said is very, very, I mean, when you have to literally sit there and try to decipher what he's saying in a general statement, a sentence and stuff, it really makes you go, hold on, what is he really saying there? And so some of the stuff he was saying, I could see as some wild and interesting stuff, because I know up on this, I think it's the south end of Lake Berryessa, there's a big like turbine looking thing that the water goes into and it comes out and it gets shot out across the road, you know, up Silverado Trail, I think is what it's called. And that's how these different areas that I know of, I came down through those areas, going down to Napa, come down Silverado Trail out of, Lake County. And you can go by Lake Berryessa and all these different areas. So we used to go it all the time. It takes you up into Middletown, California. You take right before you get into Middletown, you take Silverado Trail to get down to Napa, and it's a little bitty 2-lane road that goes down through there. And Lake Berryessa is sort of over in that general area. So,
how many postal aid stations are there in total?
But some of the stuff when he was talking about it really made me start thinking about some stuff of, if that's true, there's some wild stuff over there. So anybody got a comment on any of that stuff? Drop them in the comments.
19-year-old drives the event by themselves. They don't have support. We have neutral scratch labs bottles being handed up to them 4 times throughout the course, so they can get what they need and not get dropped.
So what's the deal? Are they only allowed to give
safe here, conservative, not grab things at speed?
A person a bottle that
bit of an agreement.
You'd think it'd just be like somebody standing there giving anybody a drink. I mean, if you got special vitamins in your water or something like that. So, oh, she done threw her jacket down.
Extra fuel, gels, bottles, whatever it might be, discard, and then the helpers on the roadside can pick up the discarded clothing as well.
Exactly. Yeah, we've
created there you go.
Quote unquote trash zone here. You see it in the Tour de France. They're allowed to drop their musettes, their bottles, any extra clothing for quite a while to give them time to situate everything, grab out of their pockets, discard trash, whatever it is, and then our great volunteers who we couldn't put this event on without.
Okay, so looks like the women's they're just shy of 55 miles left in their race, so they're definitely they started later than the men, obviously. Not to be sexist or anything, but the men, they probably started earlier because the men go a little bit faster than the ladies. And so the women's race has started a little bit later so that they don't run over each other.
Do the Grand Fondo this year. I'm going to go marshal and I'm going to be a part of it. And the joy on his face was fantastic to see, the fact that he's going to be a marshal for the event, for the race, and to be a key part, and as you say, a key member.
So yeah, hey, we're coming up on 52 minutes live. The first hour live, and you all are here with me, and I appreciate you guys. Anybody got a comment? Drop a comment and I'll share it on the screen. If you have a YouTube channel, make it a comment and I'll post it on the screen for other people to follow you too.
Thanks to our volunteers for doing that. See, the women are definitely fueling up for the last part of this event.
I think most of you know my YouTube, Capt KEVman Chronicles. It's a picture of the same thing you see as my icon there on my little e-bicycle. That's what pretty sure is what my screen thing on my actual YouTube is. And then on X, you can locate me by following me at, here I'll make it a comment for X, at Hotwire. I probably should spell it right if I want you to see it. And I am Capt KEVman on X. Should look like that. At Hotwire is my tag. So if you don't follow me, find me on X and give me a follow. Again, if you want to post your follow information, drop in a comment. I'll bring it up on screen so other people can find you.
And behind them, it's definitely breaking up. It has to be. the camera's not doing justice. It's pretty steep here. As you can see, they're climbing into the clouds.
What kind of gradients are we talking here on this part of the climb then?
12, 15.
Absolutely brutal.
It just makes me tired watching them.
Profile of where the lead group is. Up into the fog. The clouds laying low.
There's my referral link for StreamYard. If you're interested in becoming a streamer and you want to start streaming, there you can click on my link to get you a $10 discount on your StreamYard software. Just click on that link. You can. It's web-based is what's nice. It's right here, and I'm more than willing to help anybody who's wanting to try to do it. Get your set up. So
of Cole Kessler of Modern Adventure Pro Cycling in that maroon jersey, who is leading proceedings at the moment.
Let me know, and I'll be glad to help you figure it out, because that's what I'm doing right here. I'm sitting here today figuring it out.
The early days breakaway also in this group is number 41.
And if I can sit here and do it live and figure it out, granted, probably for the last month, I've sat here and pushed buttons before I hit the studio. You go into the studio and you can start messing and doing different stuff and manipulating and adding your media. You can add all kind of different stuff, your different banners and all that good stuff to get your stream set up. You can add your backgrounds and all that good stuff. And before you ever hit the go live button up in the top right, you can sit and talk to yourself and make sure your mic works, your camera works, see how your different layouts look and all that good stuff. And you can see it all live, but you're not live to the world like I am now, showing you guys everything. So it's a really neat thing to use. And I think you can do up to like 12 different media sources, like Facebook, YouTube, X. There's a couple of Twitch, Discord. You can do all those different things all at the same time from one stream. I mean, I'd be making one stream right here, but it's broadcasting to all those at the same time. And you can add just X. You can add just Facebook. You can do it all at one time, just by clicking on what you want it to go to. I put this watch on silent because it can get loud. So, again, I'm more than willing to help give you guys some ideas. Again, this is my very first stream that you're live and part of and watching right here from my new little studio. So just trying to figure all this stuff out. I want to start doing a lot more and start to put stuff together. You can, as you can see, obviously I'm streaming, talking to you live, and I'm streaming a video from sharing my screen of this live bicycle race out here in Sonoma, California. So you can also stream media. So if you make up different stuff, like let's say for the Nancy Guthrie case, if you did some different screenshots of stuff, I'm also going to do some videos of whenever I go out and shoot wildlife photography and I come back in and edit them. I'm going to do some videos on showing you how to edit your photos, how I edit my photos. You decide how you edit yours, but I use Lightroom for that. So I'll be glad to show you guys how I do some of that stuff. So again, it's a matter of just doing it. I mean, literally, if you'd asked me for sure 6 months ago about doing a live stream, I said, you are crazy. I'm not getting on no camera live. But here we are today, So we're doing this thing. So I encourage all of you to again, the way I started out was I bought a little camera, which I bought the Insta 360 X5 camera. It's a 360 camera. You can do 360-degree view, and you can do different stuff. So I'm going to use it to take it out in the field when I'm doing wildlife photography, shooting video of that while I'm actually shooting with my camera and making videos for you. So we'll be doing all that kind of different stuff. But now we're sitting in the studio with a webcam right there. That's weird. It cuts me off if I get my finger too close. So now we're sitting, doing live streams straight from our computer in the studio. So that's where we're at today. So let me turn on the bike race. They got 30.2 miles remaining, it looks like. Not that I'm going to restream the whole stream here. Maybe. I don't know. Depends on what y'all want. If y'all keep interacting with me and leaving some comments. Yes, this is live. There we go. Now we can see your comment on the screen. Yes, I am live. Very first ever live stream. So the race is live also. Yes, if you're talking about the race. This is live from Sonoma, California. This is the Levi's Grand Fondo race out in Sonoma County, California. A family friend of mine, Luke Lamperti, is actually racing in this race. He races for Team EF Education, Easy Post, a professional cycle team. And he is back here in the race. I do believe he's number 25 in this here race. So, and thank you for that comment too.
He knows where he needs to start to put the power down, and you can see now he's got the company of Ian Lopez, and Ian Lopez is kicking things on, isn't he?
And we could have a situation where
is the stream sound loud enough from the actual bicycle race? Can somebody tell me, is it loud enough that you guys can hear it and still hear me? Or do you want me to shut up and let you listen to the race?
He knows that he's aerodynamic, with the deep wheels, but he knows the aerodynamic benefits on this kind of course are really going to play into their own.
He knew the chances of him being out in the wind for many hours was quite high. Look at that style from Mike Woods that we've come to appreciate from watching him win the Tour de France.
I may have to take my camera, because it's over here, and put it on this monitor, because this is what I'm always watching. So that way I'm looking at this way towards you, and I can just look up and stay in contact with you guys instead of me having to look back over here for the stream. So again, these are all things you learn.
Rider in Mike Woods, he's got great company with Marcus Shelton.
Absolutely, they're all in. They're going to work together seamlessly to try to catch those lead three. And the question is, can Ian and Simone get back to Mike Woods and Marcus Shelton?
How does that maybe change things if the scenario and situation comes that Mike Woods and Marcus Shelton are joined by Ian Lopez and Simon Pellew? How does that change the dynamic? The fact that Ian Lopez has got a teammate up the road in Kessler, does that then disrupt things? And does Woods and Shelton prefer it just to be a duo rather than four riders?
Oh, absolutely. They don't want them coming back. But you know what? Who is that?
I'll be right back.
Vermeulen. Alexi Vermeulen, by the looks of things, is coming to the rear wheel of Woods and Shelton.
That's right. We lost Alexi, but there he is.
This is a really strong ride from Alexi Vermeulen.
Yeah.
And he's been flying, hasn't he?
He's got, World Tour road experience. He's at home here. No, it's Brendan Johnson.
Wow.
Really strong ride.
That was really impressive to see that he's been able to bridge across. Brendan Johnson, the 34-year-old Australian, coming across there. Wow.
Yeah, we kind of lost track of him, but he just appeared out of the fog.
Yeah, he's another rider who's flown under the radar.
Yeah, riding very smart. I mean, it was interesting. I was thinking about it. Where's Mike Woods? Something happened to him, and then all of a sudden he's there.
Likewise.
Right when it mattered. And that shows a lot of experience.
How difficult is that to do? To be anonymous,
especially when you're the favorite.
Yeah. When everybody knows you,
yeah,
you are one of the big favorites, sort of the top 5 favorites. Listen to the fans cheer as well. What a moment! And look at Ian Lopez.
Yeah, he's charging. You know, and he has the benefit of knowing these descents that are coming up. He lives here. He's done this descent countless times, and he will make up time. So that's the advantage he has, as the lead 3 are now descending in the fog. And I can only assume that Luke was dropped on the steep part of the geysers. We haven't seen him. If by chance he's still close to maybe Keegan, for example, there's a chance they can come back. They can come back out of the fog without us even realizing.
For him knowing the roads and knowing the descent, because this is really tricky.
Very tricky.
On this kind of descent, it's tricky enough without the fog. But for him knowing the roads and knowing the line he can take, just having the visual in his mind of that descent.
It's pretty foggy there.
He's coming afterwards.
Pretty wild to see.
Such a huge benefit.
Absolutely. Now Simon and Ian are starting the descent, and yeah, I don't doubt that Ian's about to send it right here. I pray for Simon right now. This is his first time coming down it, and Ian's 1000th.
Oh, by the way, we made it past 1 hour in our first ever live stream, and we're almost at 100 viewers. We're at 99 currently, so
this is very Pyrenean to me.
Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate every single one of you.
Great images.
It just gives you all a real sense of what these riders are going through and what they have to contend with, especially with the little bit of rainfall as well, and the dew as they go through the fog and through the clouds. Mentally, these are really stressful times as well. You want to try and take some of these corners really gingerly as well, especially when there's that slick layer of wet on the top surface of the tarmac.
Yeah, we do get a fair amount of rain here, so it's not like southern Spain or southern Italy when it rains and then it's just an ice rink. The roads are quite clean here, so even in the rain, there's decent traction. But when it's wet to dry, dry to wet like it is here, that could be tricky. You got to pay attention, look ahead. And it looks like Marcus, since he knows this, he's ridden it a few times, I'm sure, he's pushing these guys to stay with him. Right here is where last year Alex.
And they're flat out high and down through there, huh?
Absolutely terrifying to think. I've descended this.
I'd rather just be the motorcycle. Hey, they're just duding the road. I'd rather just be the motorcycle driver.
The best place to be taking a photo there.
Of course, they definitely got to be paying attention because they will run somebody over. But they are flying down these hills.
This corner right
again. This is Sonoma.
You can see
California.
How Mike Woods maybe was just about to miscalculate that tight right-hand corner there.
He's had a lot of experience of descending roads he's never been down before, and that experience is invaluable in a situation like this.
Well, the adrenaline will certainly be pumping for Mike Woods after that moment there. You want to try and get back with his breakaway companion, Marcus Shelton.
And it's showing 14 seconds to our lead 3. And this next pitch here is about a mile long, and it's quite hard. So, yeah, these guys are not far.
Thanks for.
It might be a
well, you made it worse there, buddy.
Over this next
get you a different towel there.
Mike Woods and Marcus Shelton.
I guess it's getting a little bit of sprinkling rain here, the fog.
Over Kessler and Unger right now.
Yeah, again, he knows this descent better than the other two, and he took advantage of that. They're coming back. But
it's such a relentless climb, isn't it?
It is, but this part they're on right now, it's only like a 4-minute effort, but it's steep. So let's hope that these guys can make it over with the charging group behind as they're about to be swallowed up.
Those canyons are
the chasing group behind are about
pretty intense,
leading duo in
especially on a bicycle.
Race. Brennan Wirtz, Cole Kessler, Logan Unger are going to be joined by Mike Woods, Marcus Shelton,
yeah, they're right there,
and Brendan Johnson.
Hey, we hit 100 viewers all at one time.
This pitch.
It's pretty good. Thank you all.
They're about to start the
Thank you for being here and give me a few minutes of your time.
The question is, the trio who have caught and made the junction to the front of the men's elite race, they're not going to want to hang around. They're in a situation where they've dropped some of their key favorites, Keegan Swenson, Luke Lamperti.
Yeah.
They're no longer there. And so they really need to try and utilize this point on the course to their advantage. They don't want to take any fast riders to the finish line. Cole Kessler now dropped in that maroon jersey, as we see here, number 77. This is Kent Ross of Portland, the 29-year-old, who has, again, been keeping himself pretty anonymous. He's been at the back of the group earlier on in the peloton, but he's done a good job in trying to bridge across.
Looks like Cole came off this group, but Ian's not far behind him and their teammates, and they can work together. There's a big descent coming. Ian knows it well. Marcus looks very strong. Oh, we have attack in the women's field. Is that Cecily?
Cecily Decker going off the front in the women's elite race.
That's a great move because she's got time to build a lead, make it over the geysers, put pressure on the others.
Full aero with the skin suit, the aero socks, deep section wheels.
Yeah, I like this move from Cecily. I think it's smart and it's just the right timing. Look at the gap she's already got.
Well, welcome along to the Growler and the live broadcast with myself, Hannah Walker, and Levi Leipheimer. What an electric race in both races we've had so far. The situation in the men's elite race, we've got 5 riders who are in the lead, with some of the key contenders who have been distanced on the climb itself. Mike Woods is the rider who is pushing things on in the men's elite race. Meanwhile, in the women's elite race, it's Cecily Decker who has attacked off the front of the group and started to build a considerable advantage, already quickly opening up a gap of almost 15 seconds before one of the key parts on the course. And right now she's looking really strong and really, really smooth. Thanks to all of you who've been watching on the live broadcast, and for those who have been watching from the very beginning earlier on this morning. If you've got any questions, feel free to leave them in the chat that I could put to Levi Leipheimer.
I think Alexi, Simone, and Ian I think they're only 8 seconds down. Yeah, there's Ian. Is that Ian or Cole? Couldn't get a good look at it.
Could be Cole looking at the labored way, but we'll get another look on that.
Just pan back a little bit, we can see. Clearly, they're not far behind. They must be able to see them because it looks like Alexi's quite urgent in his pedaling.
Simon Pello perhaps starting to pay for the earlier moves in that breakaway.
He's still there, though.
But he's still there. And he's one of those riders, the higher the fatigue, and when everybody's feeling that fatigue, that's when he really comes into his own. And I've seen it time and time again in road races as well, where everybody's been on their knees, they've been so fatigued, but he's able to come through because he can still perform under such fatigue. He's got that fatigue resistance, hasn't he? 9 seconds for the chasers.
And this number 77 making his way back to the lead group. This is not somebody that we even thought about as a contender, but he's coming out of nowhere.
This is Kent Ross, really, really impressive. Another rider who's come off the back of a really successful Redlands. He won the final stage, 8th overall in the general classification. And so clearly in very, very good form.
Oh, yeah. Ian was telling me that you won the Sunset Road Race, which is a notoriously very difficult stage at Redlands, and anyone who succeeds at that has the capability to go all the way here.
This is the makeup of the group. Cecilia Decker.
Looks like they caught Cecily, yeah.
Kylie Hannell, Aliyah Shaffi made her way back. Samara Shepard, Cecilia Lejeune, Sarah Lang, Paige Onweller, Sophia Gomez, Haley Preen, and Lauren Stevens. Stevens on the front currently. I'm curious what is on the helmet straps of Lauren Stevens and her teammates.
I think it's a new radio where they can talk to each other.
Interesting. Big attack here. Big move as we start to see Lauren Stevens' teammate try and get away here. They've got the numbers, they've got the strength.
Aliyah Shaffi on the wheel, second place last year. Sophia trying to get across.
Look at the speed.
Yeah.
They're really wanting to make sure that they can try and split things here.
I was trying to wait for a break in there. I didn't want to break in while they were giving you some live update information, commentary, and all that good stuff. So I wanted y'all to hear them.
Okay, Courtney comes back as another move from Paige Onweller, who goes on the left-hand side.
Paige, who didn't even know if she was going to be able to start. Look at this.
The commentators, they're usually talking a lot, so I didn't want to throw my commentary in there and you miss something important of the actual race.
Quickly opening up the gap, a little look over the right-hand shoulder, 75.3 kilometers remaining.
That was a great attack.
Miles. Great attack. That was textbook.
Yeah, it really was. Come past with speed. It discourages anyone from trying to make that really hard acceleration to try to get on your wheel because they know that it's going to hurt. They're going to pay for it later. Done very well.
And look how quickly that Onweller has been able to open up the advantage here. Every now and then, a little look over the right-hand shoulder just to see, well, has anybody come with me? Have I got any?
Let me check my
to get up to the front of the race.
X notifications here.
Great pedaling style, great cadence.
Back with the men's lead. Yeah, they're about to start the biggest descent on the geysers. Still in the clouds. They'll eventually get out of that. But I think there's a group very close behind them with Alexi and Ian and Simone. There they are, yeah. Cole and Ian have linked up.
This is really beneficial to Alexi Vermeulen and Simon Pelou now. The fact that the two riders from Modern Adventure Pro Cycling, they've got...
I'm seeing 40 seconds between them. So they could make up, 10, 15, 20 seconds on this descent and then see them when they come off the descent. And if that front group starts to hesitate at all, they can regain contact.
And they're all going to fully commit here within this fall. A little bit of shake of the head, though, from Simon Pelou just then. He's clearly feeling the effects from earlier. Maybe Ian Lopez said, hey, man, we need a turn from you here. If we want to try and come back, we need your assistance as well. But Pelou, the Swissman, sitting at the back in that green jersey, number 29, 40 seconds.
Yeah, it's understandable that he's on the limit, hanging on, trying to get deeper into the race. If he can feel better once they get off this ascent, maybe has a couple gels and a drink, and maybe contribute a little bit. Like I said, if they can half this gap on the descent and then see that group when they come off of it, it's going to give them all motivation.
Yeah.
It's possible they could close it back down. Of course, in the front, Mike Woods, Marcus Shelton, they don't want that to happen, so they're just as motivated to stay off the front. But that lead group, it's kind of sizable. They're I doubt they're all gonna ride equal and be as cohesive as they could be. So there's going to be some games being played. see they're starting to get out of the clouds, which should make the descent a little easier to maneuver, to manage. This cattle guard here is always tricky.
You have to be careful on which camber you are as well when you take the cattle grid, don't you? You know, sort of don't bank it over too much to get around the. Almost have to go straight on, get over the cattle grid, and then quickly bank it right to get
I was trying to figure out if I even made this post or if it automatically made the post for me.
Like I said, it takes
on X.
Awareness, a lot of skill, and things are interesting. You can't just be on autopilot in this race.
It's not a race where you can just rely on your physical form. Mentally, you've got to be aware from mile one.
Oh, absolutely.
It's not one where you can switch off. You can't.
You know, trying to avoid talking too much right now. They're in some pretty wild areas of that area of the race, so I wanted to let their commentary keep coming through. But again, this is a live race from out in Sonoma, California. For anybody who's just now getting in here, I'll keep it live.
As a young rider, it can be very difficult. You get better at it as you're more experienced.
What kind of things, when you're a rider, is there any practices that you can do to make sure that you can try and keep the focus and keep the concentration for such long, sustained periods of time?
I mean, now that I'm retired, I would, I didn't do it at all during my career, but I think a meditation practice would be very beneficial in that sense, to calm your mind and to shut out the noise and allow you to maintain focus better and longer.
49 seconds is the advantage.
Chasing.
49 seconds.
Yeah.
We have 107 live viewers.
And she's been taking it easy, which, I mean, she's got the reserves built up. She could be.
Make sure you guys help me out there if you're seeing it live on YouTube or X, or hit a like, give me a subscription, hit that subscribe button if you're on YouTube for sure.
14th at Sea Otter only a week ago, 4th at the Mid-South Gravel event. Third race of the season.
Again, this is my very first ever live video. So for those that are just getting here, I've been talking about it, and this is the first live video. So hopefully we'll be doing a lot more, covering other events and anything we can do live.
Little saddlebag under the saddle itself, just with the spares.
We're just learning as we go.
Cooperation behind to make sure the gap doesn't grow too big.
Would you have one rider in this kind of situation who's a little bit of a road captain for everybody, trying to entice everyone to come through and work? Or
if it benefits you for everyone to work together, sure, that's your job. You try to, in Lauren Stevens' case, right? She won last year in quite dominant fashion. I mean, the gap at the end wasn't big, but she spent a lot of time alone. She was clearly the strongest. So if she's feeling good right now, she's going to want to encourage others to work with her. And that's definitely a tactic to put pressure on them verbally.
Yeah.
Hey, let's work together. You can't be sitting on, or whatever it is. But the others don't have to necessarily follow her instructions.
And they don't have to take it up, do they?
No.
It's if they're playing to their forte, their tactic. As Paige Onweller gets onto the gravel sector at the base of the climb, just trying to get rid of as much fluid as possible to try and make it a bike as lightweight as possible going up this climb here, just to try and get rid of some unnecessary weight.
Yeah, and she officially enters the canyon of Geysers Road. Starts what we've already seen with the men is, obviously a critical part of the race, but her lead is continuing to grow. And look at this, the impetus has gone out of the chase group. She's going to continue to gain time.
This is Kylie Hannell, who we saw try and break away earlier on. She's being active. She's going to be one of the key teammates for Lauren Stevens. Everybody wanting to make sure that they can try and get rid of some unnecessary weight as they enter into the base of the climb itself and into the approach. Still there is Lauren de Crescenzo, the 35-year-old, the winner of the first edition 2 years ago.
You know, it would be great to see the men again, because I think that Ian and Cole and Simone have gotten really close to the leaders. I'm seeing 16 seconds.
Wow.
Can that be right?
If that's right, that is one impressive ride from this quartet.
Like I said, Ian knows these roads. He probably went full send down that descent.
But you've got Cole Kessler. Look at it. He's like a train, isn't he? He's so strong, pulling these riders along at the front of this group, number 64.
So
he's so aerodynamic as well.
Yeah, I think that gap wasn't right. The lead moto had an issue for a second, and we are taking times off the motorbikes. So there he is, back with the leaders. I don't know. I see 23 seconds, and yeah, that's not a big gap. They should be able to see them. They're back there at that, where you see that white building in the background.
Just having that character chase for those riders and that quartet gives you so much motivation.
Yeah, and I don't see that everybody in this group will give it their all, or even should. Like a guy like Logan Unger here, maybe he can afford to sit back a little bit.
Okay, sorry, I'm back.
Mike Woods and Marcus
had to go get me some
Do you think that's
a refill of some good old sweet tea. So we're back watching. There I am. I'm back in the camera now.
Afford to ease off and not show your card too much, whereas right now he's in a situation where he's in an incredible place. He's right in the thick of the action. He wants to make sure that this group stays away, and everyone else is just utilizing and benefiting from him.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's easy for us to sit here in the studio and say what they should or shouldn't do.
Yeah.
I mean, they know how they're feeling. They can tell how the others are feeling. But it is quite possible that he's getting excited right now because the position he's in. I mean, he has the ability to win a lot of money right now, and he's on live television, and that can get to you as a younger rider, someone who hasn't been in that situation. But at the same time, he could be feeling great, and he wants this group to succeed, not anyone else to come back. Look at Mike Woods checking over, taking a.
Let me turn the volume down the stream here.
Always aware of his surroundings, very experienced professional.
Try to make it so you can still hear it barely. Again, thanks everybody for being here. It's my very first ever live stream. Trying to figure everything out, so I thought I'd share this video live here of this live race out in Sonoma, California. Drop who you're pulling for out in the comments if you are familiar with cycling and you have your favorite. Again, I'm pulling for Luke Lamperti, number 25. He wears a pink jersey for EF Education. Easy Post is who his professional cycling team he rides with. He's home from over in the European tours. I think he is going to be riding in the Tour de France. He's been riding a lot of professional races here lately.
All aboard the Kessler train right now.
That's how it feels, doesn't it?
Yeah.
A one-way ticket.
So we're just watching some of this. Been live streaming for an hour and a half now. 110 live viewers currently. So I appreciate every single one of you. Again, if you're here watching from YouTube, make sure you hit that thumbs up, like, make sure you hit that subscribe if you're not a subscriber yet. Hope to do more of this in the future. And like I started in the early beginnings, telling everybody, hey, you just got to decide you're going to do it and start out and do it. So take the baby steps and start out with a camera. Most people have a phone these days, so start with your phone, start recording yourself talking to it and figuring things out, and just slowly move yourself up, figuring stuff out.
I'm sure Ian's sister Vita is watching right
Looks
now.
like they have 16 and a half miles to go, so.
World-class mountain bike racer on the World Cup.
Racing with Trinity Racing. She's really a fantastic talent, isn't she?
Yeah.
Probably no doubt off to Korea, actually, for the first round of...
Again, the link to the actual live video from where I'm getting my stream from is up in the comments.
Said, yeah, I'm Vita's brother. He's proud, very proud of her.
Yeah. I can only imagine. She's a fantastic talent.
Oh, motorbike might be in the way here. Cole doesn't care.
Bit of a death stare coming through. Yeah. Get on the train, would you? You didn't pay for your ticket. You can't be here for free.
32 seconds. I mean, that's right. They've taken a couple seconds back. Definitely more urgency in that chase group than we see here.
So yeah, while they're just riding, let me turn this back up and then I'll mute it. So yeah, one of the biggest things is, not knowing what to say and all that stuff. Obviously, you want to have a little bit of an idea what you're going to be talking about and all that stuff. The biggest thing is just let the thoughts come out. I mean, if you put too much thought in it, you'll start stuttering and trying to figure out what you're supposed to say and all that good stuff. So just start your stream and get on there and start talking to people and just let your thoughts come out and, discuss your topics and all that good stuff. Now, the cool thing about StreamYard here is you can set up, you can do notes, you can do, there's a little button here, you can click notes, you can put notes in there, things you want to talk about before you ever start your stream. You can build your view of what you want it to be and all that good stuff for the people. You can also add sort of like a teleprompter. You can turn on teleprompter and you can see all those things and it overlays it over the screen you're looking at so that you're still seeing the camera and those people are able to see what, they can't see what you're actually reading from, but it's literally on the screen in front of you. So if your camera is set up, again, I've got multiple screens here. So my actual stream is over here. What I'm, showing to you guys and all that stuff is viewed from over here. My camera's up there. So I got multiple things set up here. So I won't keep too much of the race from you. So I know some of you guys are probably here for the actual race. So let me turn back on the commentary and we got 15 miles to go.
Extremely well.
30 seconds. 30 seconds.
Guys are getting time gaps. It's crucial in this position to know.
Crash in the women's race. Cecilie Decker has come down and she's not looking too good there. A big shame for the rider who has been animating this race so far.
I wonder what happened. Shame. I hate to see that.
Awful to see the situation at this point.
Maybe
that probably hurt.
Or something. It looks like
there's probably a big old mud puddle in there too.
It's hard to tell if it's a downhill or a flat road.
Excuse me, sir. I appreciate you getting my bicycle out of the way, but can you fix my arm?
It's a huge shame for Cecilie Decker. Clearly in a lot of
Hope she's okay.
Discomfort, pain, and landed hard there. Oh, we wish Cecilie Decker all the very best. It's never nice to see anyone come down in a crash.
My wife just brought in a sign stuck on the door. It says live streaming so that she don't walk in here. That's why I moved in this room. You remember I told a bunch of you guys, you know, there's a reason I was doing my streaming here so that my family didn't have to be subjected to just walking through going, oh, hello, I'm on live stream. So, you know, she made a sign to put on the door that says live streaming so that people just don't just walk in and y'all go, oh, who the hell is that? So
37 seconds with 22.9 kilometers to go. Cole Kessler, Ian Lopez, Simon Perlu, and Alexei Vermeulen, the chasing quartet to a strong group of 6 riders, including Brennan Wirtz, Mike Woods, Logan Unger, as well as Kent Ross, who bridged across. Really impressive from him.
that was sweet tea, by the way. From my Walt Disney collection cups. I've had these for 20, 30 years, I guess. The Walt Disney collection.
What's coming up for the riders in the final 23 kilometers or so now? What do they have to take on? Is there a key point on the course where perhaps the chasing quartet can come back somewhere which is going to be advantageous to the leading 6 here? What does it look like?
Yeah, so they're about to take a right turn on Chalk Hill Road, and if you can see on that profile there, that little bump has proved to be crucial the last 2 years. Like I said, I think it's where Keegan and Matt left a group of guys last year to bridge across to Marcus and Con McDunphy, and that amazing, exciting finale we had last year. So I see 100% Marcus and or Mike Woods giving it a go on that kicker. It's about a 1 kilometer, pretty stiff pitch, and it's a great opportunity for someone who still has a lot left in the tank and the capabilities like Mike Woods has, where he can really hit that hard and possibly even go solo.
He's certainly shown the capabilities to be able to do so and really pick his moment.
I mean,
every time I was getting ready to say something, they kept coming back with some commentary, so I didn't want to interrupt it. But anyway, if you have your own YouTube channel, drop a comment, tell me what it is. I'll post it on the screen for other people to follow you as well. Or if you are watching me from X, you can drop your handle in there, get some people to follow you. Again, I think most of you probably know what mine are. You're here following me from either X or from my YouTube, so you know what my different things are. But I gladly post it on the screen. Drop a comment if you have a question or anything like that. I'll put it on the screen if you want me to, or if you don't want me to. I mean, obviously it'll be in a comment, so it's live. People can see it. So feel free to drop comments, and we will do this together.
The shoulders starting to rock and roll, you can really start to see the fatigue set in as well. So that is also a huge factor after such a long race. For those who perhaps are just joining, 138 miles in total, the Growler, with 14,000 feet of elevation. This is an absolute brute of a race.
And here they are on that Chalk Hill Road I was talking about. This is just the beginning of it, fast part, but
y'all hear that? 138 miles.
Kilometers time.
I have an e-bike. I don't even like riding to the mailbox at times.
From here, they're going to hit that kicker that I was talking about.
And I have like a 50, 75 foot at the most.
And they're still working quite well together.
Incline range over that 750 foot driveway with dual electric motors.
Must be an amazing feeling for these amateurs and those who are doing the various different routes to
I'd be stopping and picking me some
seats of the front group
grapes
coming charging past. This is train number 1 whilst the Cole Kessler train is trying to chase back on. But what a sight to behold. What a moment for them to experience and see what's happening at the front of the race and just get a sense of how fast this group is traveling.
Yeah, and speaking of which, we this year, we've created a little watch party zone with about 7 kilometers to go. So those Fondo riders that are currently on course ahead of these guys, because they've done shorter routes, they're going to get the opportunity to pull over at a new kind of aid station we have set up with 7K to go. And we're doing that to clear the road for the last 7 kilometers for these elites to truly fight it out in the sprint and not have to navigate any traffic. So that watch party has just been activated.
Great.
They're starting to collect people in that zone so that by the time these guys get into the streets of Windsor in the last 7 kilometers, they have clear sailing. I really appreciate that for those who are pulling over to take a break and watch the elites go by.
But a brilliant festival for everybody to be together as well at that point at the watch party.
Yeah.
And to share that moment, to see how exciting this race is and is going to be all the way into the finish here in Windsor. In the women's race on the right-hand side, in the women's elite race, this is still Paige Onweller.
About, almost 40 seconds, yeah.
Just inside 70 kilometers to go, 34 seconds.
So she hasn't gained a ton of time, but that means that they're working somewhat behind. They're not just soft pedaling and letting her go easily.
I guess it's something for Paige Onweller where she needs to pace herself on the climb as well. You can't go flat stick from the beginning of the climb.
I get the sense that she can go all day at a very high speed, but might not have the punch of some other riders.
Chasing quartet now starting to split up with Alexei Vermeulen now starting to suffer under the impetus of Cole Kessler, who is taking Simon Pellew, the Swissman, in the green jersey along with him. He's desperate to get back to the front of the race. He's on home roads.
It could be that Cole's making a final effort going into that pitch to try to launch Ian across. I don't know. We'll see.
And for Ian, this is special.
A big group.
It's the fact that he's on home roads and in a situation to try and win his home race.
Yeah.
And he gets the opportunity once every year.
Exactly. I was talking to, I think I was talking to Luke yesterday about it. I had the fortune of racing the Tour of California on some of these roads right here in my hometown. And it pushed me to be better, and it just automatically makes you more focused and faster. And I experienced that, and I think Ian is experiencing that today.
How much does it benefit you psychologically, knowing that you've got thousands of people cheering you on? You also have your friends and family who are here. That must be so special and give you that extra edge too.
Absolutely. That you feel at home. These are your roads. Your friends are out there. It's a good pressure to have. I think that it elevates almost anyone to ride beyond what they thought they could, and that's a valuable experience to have because it makes you realize that you can push yourself harder than you thought. These guys are getting really close to that kicker that I was talking about. Maybe another kilometer or two, and we're going to see it. And for sure, they're going to try something. I'm hoping we can stay with the men's lead group as we get closer.
It's just weird to see vehicles on the road.
Tired legs out there, but they're going to lie it and leave it all
over in Europe. They
road.
shut down everything.
The final 10.4 miles of the race. The gap to the chasing quartet now grown to 55 seconds, and this is touch and go as to whether they can try and come back at this point in the race. They'll be hoping that the leading six might start to look at each other at some point, and that will give them an opportunity to try and get themselves back into the front of the race. Whether they want to try and use that climb as a launch pad to try and come across and try and close the deficit, or at least a large part of the deficit.
Yeah, they're just a couple minutes away from from that ramp that I was talking about. Oh, as Cole jumps away from the group behind. Cole's riding very impressive today. Look, I mean, he's been in the break, and he's still driving this group along. This has been a bit of a dark zone for us in the past with cell coverage and Starlink, so I'm hoping we get to see what unfolds here.
When you take a look at the makeup of this group and the leading group of 6, how do you envisage what each and every rider has got a different attribute, a different characteristic of how they could try and...
Sorry, I had to throw that in there just to make sure it still works.
What do you think could unfold for some of these riders? Is it a case of they know they can wait for a sprint between the 6 of them and they know they can try and win that? Some riders certainly won't want to take this to a sprint of 6 riders.
Absolutely not. I don't know. I can't tell you who's the quickest of these guys. That's a tough call, and it's going to come down to who's got the most left in the tank. But I think right now, as we head into that kicker that I'm talking about, it's all eyes are on Mike Woods and Marcus Shelton. They've proved to be the strongest over the geysers, and I would expect that, you know, when you're the strongest guy, you want to whittle the group down. You want to increase your chances with less riders, and so I'm going to predict Mike Woods is going to give it a real go here.
Okay, I muted it for a second. So if I could get your input, how many people are here just because it's my stream and y'all wanted to see what I was up to and all that stuff? And how many people are actually interested in the bicycle race? I don't want to cut away from the bicycle race if you're actually here interested in seeing the bicycle race. So you could drop me a comment just so I know. And for right now, I'll keep it going. It's only got, you know, barely 9 miles left in the race. So if you're here because you want to see the race, I want to make sure we keep it on. If not, if you're here because you just here because you follow me and wanted to see what I was up to, I want to make sure that I give you guys some discussions or whatever it is that, you know, I want to make sure you're here because you want to talk to me. Drop a comment. Let me know. Cut back to the race.
Over the minute marker, 1 minute and 3 seconds.
Oh, and
for
our
Ian
drone
Lopez.
to the rescue.
Look at this. Wow. What a beautiful shot on this section of the course. 14 kilometers to go.
Yeah, I see a very antsy Mike Woods. I think he's ready to go, ready to pounce. Let's hope we get to see it.
Brennan Johnson kicking things on at the front of the group in the white jersey.
Not
Do you have to try and take the surprise on this kind of climb? You've got to get the surprise of everybody.
Yeah, a little bit, but it's quite steep right here. So, you know, this is it right here. This is your opportunity. If you're feeling good, you got to go for it. I'm not sure if everybody has reconned this section, and like I know most of these guys know, but I don't know if Mike was able to ride this part.
It's going to have a huge bearing in particular for those who haven't seen the run into the finish and key moments where they might be able to try and make a move. He's had quite a packed week, hasn't he?
There's only a few hundred meters left.
Again, we're looking for Luke Lamperti, and I think his number is 25. I think I saw earlier. So Luke Lamperti is who I'm pulling for.
Don't have the legs, or for some of these riders, they don't have the legs. Brennan Wirtz has spent so many kilometers, basically every kilometer of this race so far in the breakaway. Logan Unger, he bridged across to Wirtz, and Cole Kessler when they were a duo, and he bridged across in pretty formidable fashion.
I think that somebody has to be feeling better than the others, but yeah, it looks like a stalemate.
Pretty cool drone shot there, huh?
Surprised by that.
It must be hooked up to that Starlink on one of them motorcycles.
Nobody wanting to show the card. With the chasing quartet, the gap grows to 1 minute and 12 seconds. And they've used up so much energy in trying to chase, but without much success so far. They're running out of kilometers, they're running out of miles, and the gap only continues to grow for Kessler, Lopez, Vermeulen, and Perlo.
And that's it. They're over the top, and so it's going to become very tactical now. And it's anyone's race to win.
Ken Ross at the back of the group. He was one of the last riders to join this leading group of 5, as it were. Inside 13 kilometers to go. A little reminder of the group of riders. Mike Woods at the back here in the white jersey. Stage winner in the Tour de France, stage winner in the Vuelta a España. Recently retired from World Tour professional cycling, but certainly has brought his A game here to the Growler in Sonoma County in California. At the back of the group in the pink jersey, number 41, that's Logan Unger, the 22-year-old who is having the ride of his life. Number 2 is Marcus Shelton, who took a podium finish 1 year ago, taking 3rd place behind Keegan Swenson and Con McDumphy. Brennan Wirtz been in the breakaway for the majority of the day in that navy blue jersey. The tall, rangy figure of Wirtz, once again, is showing what a class bike rider he is. Brandon Johnson, the white jersey, black shorts with the green helmet. One of the last riders to come across. Really impressive ride from the Australian. Now they're starting to think, how can they beat their rivals in this group? How can they try and get the upper hand? What do they have to try and do? Get into the roundabout with 500 meters to go, straight on at the roundabout. The final turn comes with 100 meters to go. So if this comes down to a sprint of 6 riders, positioning's crucial. Where you want to try and open up from is critical.
Maybe they're waiting a little bit more time until they get closer.
Oh, we're up to 129 viewers. Thank you all for being here. Just sort of watching the activity here on this race live from Sonoma, California. Try not to interrupt their commentators too much so y'all can hear what they're saying.
You know, they must be actually traveling pretty quickly. The speed must be pretty high because they've been cooperating well together. Like, look at Brendan still taking turns deep into this race. He's been off the front a lot. Very impressive ride by Brennan.
This is going to be the ride of his life.
I don't think he expected this. You know, I got the
we know he's a strong.
He definitely wasn't counting on a day like this when I spoke to him yesterday.
The stars are aligning for Brennan Wirtz. Kessler and Perlo, they're not giving up.
Cole still has gas in the tank. That's really great to see out of a young rider like that. And it looks like Alexi and Ian are just done. Simone still coming through as well. Really impressive day by him.
They've done the right thing here by not waiting to keep it as a quartet between Kessler and Perlo. That at one point, especially when you see that gap go over the 1 minute and 15 second marker, you've got to try and give it the last nudge. It's that fighting spirit all the way until the end here, and especially for Kessler, who's racing in his home state, really important. And what a day for him if he can try and pull this one off.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, these guys are working really well together, but once they start playing games, that gap can shrink really quickly. I'm not sure what it is right now. I think, last time we saw it was a minute or even more. So highly unlikely that they come back. I think the winner is obviously going to come from one of these 6 riders we're seeing on screen right now.
Of these riders, I'm looking at how he's been going through, contributing, but still keeping himself as aerodynamic as possible is Logan Unger in that pink jersey, the white helmet, looking really aerodynamic. He looks like he's a rider who can really pack a punch come a finish line.
Yeah, I mean, he's an unknown here. I mean, he could surprise the rest of them. He looks really good.
Hey, that was a stop sign. You are supposed to stop there. Sorry, I'm reading my ex. Some of the stuff that's on there.
So we are almost to the city limits here, the town of Windsor, back home, hurling themselves towards the festival and the finish line. And it's anybody's guess who's going to take the $25,000 check. I can't predict this.
But that's massive to think about as well for these
Thank you for being here, Tammy.
A huge check on
thank
the
you for
line.
letting me know.
The largest, actually, if not the largest.
I appreciate you.
Prize
thanks for following me on X as well.
In the world.
Yeah, I mean,
World Tour or otherwise.
It is, yeah. The Paris-Roubaix men, last time I looked, was €90,000. But that's just for the men. So, yeah, we have 156,000.
Anybody else got a comment? Drop it in the platform comment section that you're seeing from. Right now, I'm only live on X and on YouTube, so
help us, forge a new way of road racing in America.
I can verify that both sides' of comments are coming through. So
guys rolling into town. There's the watch party I was talking about. Everybody gets to cheer them on, and now the roads
got 4 miles to go, so I'm going to try to hold some commentaries to let them speak.
Play games. And the women are, they're on that lower part of the Geyser's climb, and it looks like one of Lauren Stevens' teammates is making it hard and most likely setting it up for an attack from Lauren, trying to soften everyone else up. Yeah. That's what I think is going on here.
Since they're not showing it right now, the men's is obviously on the left and the women's. Or is this the
front earlier on? She's been really active.
Yeah, they're back in the mountains. That's got to be the women's section because the women should be just getting to the mountainous area right now. Most of the lead of the guys are down here in the flats. Again, they only have 3.8 miles left, and the women probably have 25, 30 miles to get there. So.
Pretty surprised by the continuing cohesion of this men's lead group. Mike Woods looks solid.
Well, whatever you are, thanks for being here. I appreciate you, Elizabeth.
Yeah, no one's really showing any signs that they want to try and sit.
So why does it say Tammy 333?
They want to
okay.
Play poker.
I'm sorry.
Everybody's still
don't cancel my contract. Today's my first time. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, rider, the way he gets himself so aerodynamic, gets himself behind Brennan Wirtz, he's got plenty of shelter.
Yeah, he picked the right wheel, didn't he?
He certainly did. I mean, we say it as a joke, but it also makes a huge difference.
Oh,
and you've got a huge benefit.
Either way,
all the time.
I appreciate you. Thanks for being here.
Speaking from experience,
and thanks for dropping those comments.
Just last week, I did a lake lap around Lake Tahoe.
When people comment, it helps other people know that there's something going on here.
They were riding tempo, and it was a nice draft. And I kept fighting for
it's because of all my friends like you and my subscribers on X that people get to see my photography stuff, because all you guys that subscribe to my content help me out and help others see it, and gives me a purpose in wanting to go out and do some more. So I thank you guys.
To try anything. I'd like to see Brennan give it a go. If he can get a gap.
How special would this be for Brennan if he could pull off the win, having
just saying,
so much time
with less than 3 miles to go, Luke's not up here in the lead group. It's going to be tough for him, but we're still pulling for Luke Lamperti.
These roads, this is a special event to him. You know, last year he was one of the animators, the protagonists early on in the race, but right now he's in a situation where he's got 4.3 kilometers to go.
And I think the games have begun. They're starting to look around.
It's time to start jockeying for positions.
Yeah. Mike Woods is lurking around in the back.
Brennan Johnson with Logan Unger, just wanting to keep things rolling.
It's funny is when I first started watching cycling, I didn't understand I just thought you got on a bicycle and you rode hard and see who could get there first. But there's all kind of different strategies and all these other things you have to figure out when you start pushing yourself to get there first and drafting off somebody in front of you. So as you see, that's what this guy's doing. He's getting down behind somebody in front of him, and then he's not having to work as hard, saving a little bit of energy.
Which is interesting.
And then again, there's a big strategy to all of it.
He's got a good kick, but maybe he's banking on the fact he knows he needs to. Oh, here we go. And Logan Unger has continued to roll things on in that pink jersey. Takes a look over his left-hand shoulder, and it's left to Marcus Shelton, who's got to do the chasing to the 22-year-old. Meanwhile, behind at the back of the group is Kent Ross in the green jersey, who can just follow and take the shelter from Brennan Wirtz.
Yeah, he's a real unknown in this group. So clearly he's got a lot of road experience. He could,
one of my former partners at my former employer, his last name was Ellington also.
Stage of Redlands in a small group sprint,
just for the record.
He's got the capabilities. And he's riding like it too.
If I remember correctly, Marcus Shelton was second on that stage as well, that final stage that Kent Ross won. So he clearly fancies his chances.
Yeah, look at that. You're
exactly. It's less than 3 miles, so the men's should be finishing up here pretty quick.
Kind of have to count him as the favorite right now. Someone we hadn't even talked about at
Probably around 2.5. It'll show it here on the screen here shortly. The women, I think, have like probably they're in the 30 range.
Would want to try to get away from him.
Look how close they ride to each other, though.
Mike Woods almost sizing everybody up.
It's like NASCAR on 2 wheels.
Look like on the face of these riders.
You know, you bump tires, send somebody sliding out.
The final 500 meters.
It's crazy in the pro cycling stuff. If you touch somebody or, you know, all that different stuff, there's penalties and all kind of stuff. So again, I don't know everything about cycling. I'm just learning and have gotten into it just based off of Luke becoming a professional cyclist, and we've been following him and learning a little bit about it. But
look at Brennan. I think he's going to get a run at it.
He's a strong, powerful rider, isn't he? He's got a great turn of speed on him. It's just, what has he got left after such an arduous, brutal day in the breakaway?
Exactly. But the position he's in right now, if he can surprise him, get a gap.
I mean, you spend a lot of time with Brennan Wirtz, and you know his qualities and his capabilities. What's his sprint like?
That's a good question. I don't know. You know,
should I whisper?
Gravel races don't necessarily come down to sprint all the time.
I'll try to be quiet so nobody hears me.
He's positioning himself in sixth wheel. He's got the overview. He's in a very beneficial place right now because he only has to watch what riders are doing in front of him and then have to follow the moves.
And Marcus Shelton on the right, or no, Logan Unger trying to sneak away again. He's been trying to do these sneaky sort of drift off the front moves.
Kent Ross wanted to take up.
Y'all see that old school? Oh, here starts the sprints.
The man who's looking to try and take the victory after so many kilometers in the breakaway today. He's been there from kilometer zero. Now being chased down by Kent Ross, who came across to this group. He's in good form. And look at this currently. Getting into the final 1,500 meters at the back of the group, Logan Unger is biding his time and he's being patient. Brennan Wirtz has already shown his card. What can Mike Woods do? How can Brendan Johnson try and beat these 5 riders and try and take a great victory here in the Growler?
You have to go through this last corner first. It's crucial. Kent Ross on the front, controlling it. I would jump now if I were them.
Brendan Johnson goes on the left-hand side. Mike Woods starts to accelerate as well. Marcus Shelton, he knows this finish after a 3rd place a year ago. He's looking to try and make it a victory. And taking and leading things in is Brendan Johnson, the 34-year-old, who is leading things in all the way to the finish. But look at this, a drag race all the way to the finish line. It was close on the line.
Mike Woods? No.
That looks as though Marcus Shelton, after a 3rd place 1 year ago, he's taken the victory. The 21-year-old wins the Growler. What a win. What a race. He got the jump. It was a drag race, and he knew it was so important to get into that final right-hand corner. A drag race between him and Brendan Johnson. Mike Woods will go away from that feeling a little bit disappointed. Meanwhile, Cole Kessler and Simon Pelou, they're still fully committed into the closing kilometers. My question is, I don't think Simon Pelou has got the legs to come through and contribute with Cole Kessler. No, he's just
We're trying to see where Luke's at. I haven't seen him in a while, so I don't know where he's at back in the group.
About with 500 meters to go, entering into Windsor, out the other side. Still placings to be had. Racing for 7th place currently.
Okay, y'all drop a comment if you want me to keep the stream going of this race, so y'all can see the women's if you're interested in that. We've crossed the 2-hour mark, so we have 150 viewers live. So I appreciate you all for being here. So, okay, these 2 guys are going to take off.
On Cole Kessler. Look at this from the Swissman as Cole Kessler is putting him under pressure right now. Kessler knows that he needs to take this in 1st place, and the strong 22-year-old from Malibu is leading things, and he's looking to try and take 7th place ahead of Simon Pelou. Well, chapeau, Cole Kessler. What a ride, what a performance. 8th place for Simon Pelou. What a finale. It's fantastic.
Okay, this is the ladies.
Discussing and dissecting what went on straight away. Meanwhile, in the elite women's race, this is the defending champion, Lauren Stevens, who has really started to open up a gap currently. Sarah Lang trying to come across with that labored style, but it's effective. Stevens, she just looks so smooth, doesn't she? Things really starting to split. What's that? A group behind of 4 riders who are in the chase. Sarah Lang is going to make the junction.
It's so hard on the motorcycle riders to go that slow without falling over, especially when they have some like a cameraman on the back and all that stuff. These guys are doing their work trying to keep that motorcycle still going.
Kate Corney right at the back of the group in that blue jersey. Such a fantastic time trialist, Lauren Stevens. 22 professional victories to her name. And she's really putting the 4 chasers under pressure. Hayley Preen, the 27-year-old from Cape Town. Second place a week ago at Ciotta, behind Sofia Gomez. Well, Levi Leipheimer has managed to get to the finish line to try and catch some interviews, and in particular with Marcus Shelton. Levi, what have you got?
I don't know about you guys, but that makes me tired just watching them. We turned up a little bit.
Marcus Shelton, after second place last year, he came back for redemption and delivered. Marcus, can you tell us about what was going through your head in the last 10K? We saw the 6 of you together. Nobody really tried an attack, which was surprising to me, but what were you thinking about? What was your strategy?
Yeah, I wanted it to stay together pretty much. That end is really long, and there's a headwind usually, and we just rolled really well with that big group, and I figured, why not keep it together?
6-hour bicycle ride.
Maybe I had thoughts of trying to whittle it down a little bit to like a smaller group, but I mean, I'm pretty confident in my sprint, and it paid off.
It certainly did. What did you gain in experience from last year that you put into play this year on this course?
Definitely the ending. I remember Keegan jumped us last year into that roundabout, and it's not very long after the roundabout. It's like 50 meters, 100 meters, and yeah, you just have to be first or second wheel through that roundabout. Just punch out of it with everything you have.
Exactly. Well, congratulations, and we'll see you at the podium.
Yeah, thank you.
Congratulations.
Are we still rolling? Are we still going? So here was second place, Brennan Johnson. Brennan, I was just talking to Marcus about the final. We saw the 6 of you together. I was a little surprised there weren't any moves on the chalk hill, which was that last like 1 kilometer kicker. Was that going through your mind? Were you about to try something? What were you thinking was going to happen?
To be honest, I was like kind of happy to sprint. I've had some, like in the past, a few key moments in races like this that are quite long, and the sprint is okay. So I was just hoping no one went. I thought Marcus might go because he had great legs all day, and he was like every climb. I only just made it with him and Mike over Geysers. So yeah, I expected one of them to go there, but I think, I'm not sure. I maybe they were back in their sprint too. Obviously, he was right too because he came around me in the line there and pit me. But yeah, it was a good day out.
Well, I was watching the final, and as I was commentating with Hannah, you guys got to like 200, 250 meters ago, and I said, I would go now, and it was right when you went. And so obviously you did your homework. You saw the final yesterday or the day before. It's not far to the finish. And, I guess what was it? What's your takeaway from today? What would you describe the course to be? road racing, gravel racing. What's your take from today?
It was certainly nothing like I've ever done before. Just a mix of sort of unpaved roads, lots of sort of rougher roads, but at the same time, I was thinking this is just gorgeous to be riding through here. And the climbing, actually, there's a lot, but it's sort of like, it just happens in the group, you know, and before you know it, you're sort of, well, at guys, there's definitely the end there, I felt that, but yeah, before you know it, it's kind of over and you're taking that descent on. But yeah, into the finish, I'm staying with Aaron, a local here, and he sort of pointed out the finish this morning, and yeah, I sort of knew that if my best chance was to go before the right hands, and did that, but still got past in the end there. But no, a stellar day out. I think yeah, I'd like to come back.
Well, congratulations and thanks for coming. We'll talk to you later.
Yeah, thanks.
Where did Kent go? I think we lost.
Fantastic to hear from Brendan Johnson, second place there for the Australian rider, as well as Marcus Shelton, the local rider, 21 years of age, who takes the victory after a third place finish 1 year ago. He knew exactly what he needed to do to try and take that victory. Meanwhile, look at this with Lauren Stevens and Sarah Lang. Lang was getting close to the back wheel of Stevens. She just gets herself into the rhythm, doesn't she, Laura Stevens? Take a look at this. The way that she is on the bike, gets herself into a nice, comfortable position. Really smooth with her gear selection as well. Gets herself into a groove, little bit of movement in the upper body, but it's effective for Stevens. She's looking to try and do the double. She's looking to try and go back to back. Well, it was tied on the line for first and second. Third place, however, Levi Leipheimer is at the finish line to chat to third place in the growler.
All right, we're here with third place, Kent Ross. Kent, we were watching the studio. The six of you were working really well together, actually. Again, surprised that nobody was trying anything. I know that you won the last stage in Redlands, the Sunset Loop. I'm a past winner myself. I know how hard that loop is. I know it takes a bit of a sprint there in the end, which obviously you were banking on that you could win this in the sprint. Can you tell us about the final?
Yeah, to be honest, I knew there were some weird turns in the last few hundred meters, and I did not do my homework as well as I should have. So I was pretty lucky. I think if I'd led the last quarter, I probably would have missed the turn. So it's honestly pretty fortunate to be in third. But when we got to the bottom of the hill, my legs were pretty cooked, so I was just kind of in recovery mode and trying to salvage a result the best I could. But I started feeling pretty good the last few K. I was considering Marcus, who won, was riding the best, and I honestly thought he was going to go on the chalk hill climb. And when he didn't go, I was like kind of questioning whether I should go, but I think it's a long way to the finish from there, and it's kind of so hard. So I decided, yeah, wait for the finish, see how I could do.
Yeah, so we were watching on the geysers, and Mike and Marcus, bolted out, and they were trying to catch the lead guys. And then all of a sudden, out of the fog, you appeared.
Yeah.
And surprised us all. What was going through your mind there? Could you see them the whole time, or did you just claw your way back?
Yeah, I could see them. I wasn't that familiar with the last climb, so I didn't want to go too into the red to get there. And when we crested the hill, I could see Alexi behind me, and I kind of thought they were going to catch back up. I'd forgotten the brake was still up the red, so I was kind of just like figured I wouldn't go too far in the red, and I'd just catch them on the downhill. So I just tried to conserve as much as I could.
All right, well, great job, and thanks for coming. We'll see you on the podium.
Thank you.
Brilliant third place for Kent Ross. The man who's in great form, and he makes it onto the podium of the growler behind Marcus Shelton and Brendan Johnson. In the chase, this is Hayley Preen, the South African rider who's with Kate Courtney, Sophia Gomez. One other rider in that black jersey at the back of this group. Good to see that Kate Courtney now, she's discarded the long sleeve jersey.
Okay, I'm going to turn the volume down on the stream. If you're interested in the actual stream of the race, let me know in the comments so I can turn it back on for you. But yeah, I was just interested in seeing, doing my first stream and seeing how many people were interested in engaging with me on that kind of stuff. And so I wanted to watch the race also. So I thought, hey, I'll stream the race and we'll see if we can get some comments and figure out how all this stuff works. And here we are. So if you're interested in wanting to hear more of the race, if you're here for that purpose, then just drop a comment and I'll turn the volume back onto the race. You can still see it. I mean, they have 30 miles left to get to the finish for the ladies race. So if not, I will repost the comment. The link to the actual video from YouTube that I'm getting the stream from so that you can go and watch it if you're interested and without me messing up your view of it. So there's the actual link to the video for that cycle race. So with that, I'm not seeing any comments on people wanting to see the rest of the race, so I may shut it off. I'll give it just a couple more minutes and we'll see if anybody comments. If y'all want me to keep the ladies section of the race going, I will. And I'll turn the volume back on. Just let me know if y'all want to hear it. So other than that, what's going on in the world of X? Anybody from X got any updates for me? Let's check the phone here. Okay. Guess I could try to knock my screen off the stand there. Try to go to at least 8 more minutes. I'll show this right here. It'll be my first stream and it'll be 2.5 hours long. So again, if you want me to keep the race on, if you're here to see the race, then let me know and I'll keep it going, even if I do step away for a minute.
The issue she was suffering with seems to have overcome that now.
Aaliyah Shafi and number 10, remind me?
Yeah, this is the teammate of Lauren Stevens. This is Kylie Hannell.
Let me turn the comments off here.
She was doing
That way y'all can see the actual race there without all the other stuff on it.
Really well. She now has a free ride.
Also in this group is... Oh, they've joined forces. So they've joined the group of Haley Preen and co. That's made 6 riders in the chase.
It's crazy. That fog was there earlier when the guys are coming through.
One rider in between Lauren Stevens and the 6 chasers, and that is Sarah Lang. She's still lurking between the groups. She couldn't quite get to Lauren Stevens. She was only around 4 or 5 bike lengths, but just couldn't quite get there. And Stevens wasn't having any of it to sit up and wait and allow her to come back.
Well, that's interesting. That might be a mistake that comes back to bite her by not waiting for her. We saw that last year with Marcus Shelton and Con McDunphy. Marcus dropped Con, and then Con came back and dropped him. And if they had just stayed together at times when each were feeling better than the next, they would have made it to the finish. I'm almost positive. So that could be what we're seeing right now. If she had just waited for Sarah, that could have been the smarter move, but we don't know. We have to wait and see.
Well, hello there, Skip Tracer. Glad you could stop in. Appreciate you following from over there on X.
I know Sophia is quite comfortable on these roads descending. Kate should be okay. You know, she's world mountain bike champion. So they've just crossed the highest point of the entire day, the Geyser Summit, 3,000 feet. And they're starting the very technical, foggy descent. It comes in a couple parts, right? We saw the band. They do this descent. It's about a 4 or 5 minute descent. Then there's like a 4-minute climb. And then another like 8 to 10 minute descent after that. Sophia takes the lead because she seems quite confident on the downhills. Maybe it's time for the motorbike to get out of the way, though.
Kind of let a little bit of the commentary come through.
Space on this kind of descent, particularly with limited vision and limited visibility in front of you. Meanwhile, Lawrence Stevens just taking that.
Just here trying to figure this out. This is a first ever live stream from the Captain KEVman side of the house. So sorry, my mic picks up everything too. So yeah, we've been going for almost 2.5 hours now. Live stream. It's the only way you can figure it out. So for anybody who's want to start doing some streaming and stuff like that, best thing I can do is tell you is just do it. I mean, again, you asked anybody in my family, they would have said, you'll never do a live stream. Well, hey, here we are. So it's just a matter of doing it. So there's a first for everything.
That's a really hard corner right there.
Gosh, it was like 30 minutes ago the guys were crossing here.
She'll be happy in these conditions that the worst part of that is behind her. She's onto her favorite terrain, back onto the climbs where she can make even more of an impression and try and grow that gap to over a minute to the 6 chasers behind.
I was telling everybody earlier that maybe we'll start doing a little bit more live streams for collaborations with other people. But like I said, I had to get that first one underneath my belt to say that, hey, I've done a live stream now. So it only should get a little bit easier from here. So maybe we'll start doing some collaborations with JLR and some other people in the criminal network, doing some true crime stuff. Again, I'm streaming via a platform called StreamYard. It is a paid program. It's a web-based stream deal software. It allows you to pull in your video stream from over here, is where I'm on this monitor. It's via a YouTube page that I'm sharing this video, and it puts it into StreamYard and allows me to be seen on the screen here with it. So it is a paid software deal, but it allows it so that you can share stuff. You can share anything on your screen. You can share any tab that you want to. So, and I was telling everybody earlier, I know there's some friends I have on X who are starting out their YouTubes and all that good stuff, and you can set it all up and learn how to use it before you ever go live by entering your studio but not hitting the live button. So it makes it a little bit easier to understand. So you learn how to click the buttons, what button does what the controls are, and all this sort of stuff. There's different media assets, banners, styles, notes, different people. You can invite people in, and it gives them a link, and you can put them on the screen with you, type thing. So if anybody's ever interested in that, then we'll look into that.
But it makes a huge difference, a huge impact to the way you race when you're really.
What did JLR on YouTube told everyone to follow up? That's how I found out about you. What do you mean, Elizabeth? Follow up with me? Make sure I'm all right. I'm good. I'm good. Or are we just supposed to check in on JLR or what? Which I'll check on him in here in a little bit. I did a live call in to his show the other night. And for a lot of people, I told people I wasn't about to send him into the storm. I was trying to do everything I could to keep him from going there, just knowing that he's never chased tornadoes. Now I know he's done hurricanes and other weather related stuff, but he's never chased tornadoes in Oklahoma. And I know if two guys, a guy and his son, some great storm chasers, Twist X team, they got killed a few years ago out here in El Reno when the El Reno tornado, which is one of the largest tornadoes ever recorded here in Oklahoma. I think it had winds of like 316 miles an hour. It caught them off guard. I won't go as far as saying it caught them off guard. There was a lot of contributing factors, I guess. But if they can get caught up in it and lose their lives over it, somebody else can too. And I wasn't about to be the one that sent him into something that he still needs to do a little bit of research and understand what you do and what you don't do before I send him into that. So, let me mute that a little bit. So yeah, I wasn't about to be the one that sent him into that stuff. If he chose to do it, then that's his own decision. But all I could do is advise him what I'm seeing, and that's why I told him to hold up at Highway 51 instead of going on up in there, because it was right there at him. And by the time, and again, the bad thing is like the delay in the actual stream and what you guys are seeing has already occurred over here for me live on my stream. And so when you're talking to someone on the telephone, you're telling them, stop, wait right there. Well, they're actually not even there per se yet, because, I'm seeing a delayed thing. They're actually past that area, actually. So when I'm telling him to take this exit right here, he's already actually past that exit. So you have to say, hey, take the next exit type thing, because if I'm watching your live stream, you're already past that exit by the time I actually see it. Granted, it's only like a few seconds, maybe 5, 10, at the most, probably 30-second delay in between the stream. So, it's hard to do that whenever you're trying, somebody's life is sort of in your hand. And, I've said it many times, there's plenty of people out there who would love to see harm come to him, and people misunderstand he's a human being. If you don't have that kind of heart, what the hell are you doing on this earth still? So there's plenty of people who would like to see stuff happen to all kind of people that they may not like or not agree with and all that stuff. That's all right. They'll make you into a movie one day too, if you've got that kind of heart in you. So I'm not that type of person, and I don't care who you are. You can be somebody who really hates me and reports every content thing that I put out there, but I don't wish no harm to you. I just wish you had different understanding on who I am and stuff like that. So all I can tell you is you'll eventually get over yourself, because you ain't going to change me. So just saying. So for anybody who's interested in the bike race, I can turn it back on. We can talk X stuff. We can do whatever. We still got 25 miles left in the ladies race here. So again, this is my very first stream ever. So you got to start somewhere. For the 169 viewers that are here, I appreciate you guys for being here. Again, if you drop a comment, I don't know which platform you're seeing me on, either YouTube or X. And that's how you start this thing. You just got to pick up a camera and do it. So, which one? Trying to think who you might be talking about. Was he English? I don't know what you're talking about. You talking about the guy from New Zealand that was talking earlier? Or not sure. Maybe your comment's delayed. Maybe you didn't buy enough Starbucks for everybody there, Ms. Elizabeth, and therefore they cut you off. Let's see what they're saying here.
They're over the climbs. She's not going to be dropped. And so if they're going to go and chase down Lauren, and it's going to take a lot of work and it's going to take a lot of kilometers to get to Lauren, Kylie's going to have a big benefit of all that time sitting on, not doing nearly as much work as these girls.
Well, she's made the junction, and she's back with the chasing four.
Okay, they're still trying to get down the mountain here. Yeah, Skip Treasure, I've, living here in Oklahoma for almost 30 years now. We've ran from tornadoes back when my in-laws were out here one time from California. we fled from Southwest Oklahoma City and fled to Norman, and we were watching it, and it was actually the El Reno tornado that we fled from. And we were sitting down on Southwestern between Oklahoma City and Norman, and we were like, oh, okay, it's going to go east. It's way north of us. Next thing you know, that thing, after it hit El Reno and it came out towards the west side of Oklahoma City, it started turning south, started coming down towards Norman. And of course, it was a parking lot then, so we couldn't go nowhere. So I ended up, I won't say broke into, I'll say I led a group of people that we ended up forcing our way into a retirement center, and we corralled everybody who came in with us into the lobby area, and we stayed there, not to bother any of the residents or scare them or anything like that. But there was probably 40 people, if not more, that followed me into this parking lot, and we didn't take a direct hit, but it definitely got close. That's probably the closest I would say I've been into really being concerned about a tornado. Other than that, we've had tornadoes around us, and it's just a matter of living in Oklahoma. You get used to it. So in the sense of you learn to watch the weather and listen to what the weathermen are saying. And ladies, shout out to Lacey Swope and David Payne out of News 9, out of OKC Market. Those are my go-tos. I always have them on during severe weather. When the notifications start coming in, that TV right here above me comes on, I start watching them. So, and I'm sure we'll do some live streams that I'll stream their content for everybody who's not local to Oklahoma, especially to the OKC area. And I'll teach you the David Payne drinking game. Not that I drink sweet tea, but we'll still do the David Payne bingo card game. Every time he says a certain word, you're supposed to take a drink, and you'll be drunk within the first 2 minutes. But David says some crazy stuff. So he's a good meteorologist, and he keeps a lot of people safe by giving out the warnings and all that stuff. So that's just my take on that. Let me turn back on the sound. Let's see what the race is doing.
She knows when to be cautious and when to let it go. Now, Leah Shaffey comes back yet again. And now we see Sarah Lang is back. Samara Shepard. Minute 14 gap. This race is definitely not over. great shot of the girls descending. Takes a lot of skill. The off-road specialists are very comfortable on these roads. As you can see, there's a lot of cracks and patchwork, and you have to know how to weight your bike just perfectly to fly over that stuff smoothly.
Got to throw that on the streams since that is what I use as StreamYard. So if you're interested, let me know and I'll bring it back up so you don't miss any of the race.
They don't give you a Red Bull helmet for nothing. And we've seen some incredible images of the girls descending, really up close, actually, which is quite a treat to see. How long does it take someone at this level to develop the skills in order to go downhill fast?
I think it takes a while, but it also takes time. And it also, for me, for example, I remember being in Girona in Spain, and it was around 11, 12 years ago. I was on a training camp, and I was all right at descending. I was pretty comfortable, confident, and I was with Dan Martin's dad, Neil. And just having someone giving you little tips to make things better, easier to descend, and to be more in control. And not that I was out of control, but it's just little pointers to take on make a huge difference.
One thing I've got to work on is my my beginnings. You know, for all my JLR followers. Come on in, folks. Come on in. Come on in. I got to work on that. So we'll see who clips that and puts it on the web and tag a JLR in it. So I got to work on that.
I'm actually watching the gap come down.
Yeah.
Lawrence,
but I'm not surprised when you've got riders like this who are in the chase.
So what are some of those tips? What are some of the things you see when you watch Kate, Sophia, and Haley Preen descend that they're doing well, that people young and up?
I'll be right back. I'll leave the stream going.
And take away from.
The one thing for me that Neil had pointed out was when you're going around a right-hand bend, for example. Of course, you already know you always should have your right pedal at 0:00 and your left pedal at 1/2 past. Whereas if you just put a little bit of pressure on the left pedal, which is down, just gives you a little bit more stability on the bike and really keeps that center of gravity and really steadies the bike. Just those little things, and also looking ahead much further of where you're wanting to go, as opposed to looking maybe only 10, 20, 30 meters in front, really looking at where you're wanting to go. And it almost takes you there because of where you're looking. So there was those little things that really help and guide you. But I also think spending time on the bike and being really comfortable with your equipment and knowing that you can trust and knowing how far you can push your equipment. I think often the equipment can go far further than we're able to push it to.
Absolutely, yeah.
With the tires, for example, especially how they've developed in the last 10 years.
Yeah, bigger tires, lower pressure, stiffer sidewall because the rims are a little wider. It means you could push into those corners harder and maintain traction. All the little bumps are absorbed. And honestly, I gotta say, those girls behind look more comfortable than Lauren Stevens does on this descent. I think the one thing you said about looking ahead, if you look where you don't want to go, you will go there.
That's where you end up.
Yeah.
And it sounds basic. Descending is of course very technical, but get some of the basic things right that seem obvious, and you already become a better descender tenfold.
Yeah, absolutely. Lauren Stevens just passed Skipstone Winery. And now she's off the descent onto the flats, 31 kilometers to go. I see 1:03 on my screen, so she has lost a handful of seconds, which I think is right after watching her descend versus the other girls. And now, if they get that information that the gap has come down a little bit, it gives them motivation. They'll work together. They'll get another gap that's even further down, and it's just a momentum builder and motivation.
Going to swing a left into this section of the course. I get the sense in the group behind Kate Courtney's only getting better now.
Yeah.
Now she's really got herself warmed up. She's found a stride. She knows she's got herself into a situation where she can win from this situation. She can win from this scenario, knowing that the gap is only just over a minute with 31 kilometers to go. With the group of riders that she was, she knows as well that Sofia Gomez, having not won the previous two editions of the Growler, she wants the win. Yeah, she's one of the most successful riders in this domain.
She has Cape Epic in the legs, and I think she took a good break after that to recover.
Okay, they have
so sometimes
less than 19 miles to go here on the ladies section.
It's a huge training effect.
Who are y'all pulling for?
Rest. And then when you come back, you're a little bit rusty. And if she did Sea Otter, and I don't think it went as well as she hoped, but that was kind of the rust breaker. And now she's getting better and better, and that's I would say that's due to the fact she's done Cape Epic. It's in her legs, and she's getting better in this race as we watch. And now you see Sofia is rallying the troops. She knows what to do, and she's gonna lead the way by taking the first hard pull, and hope that others do the same.
It's impressive, isn't it? I think when you're a rider racing against Sofia, you know she's so talented. You know she's so smart. She's so strong as well. And I know she had a very good training camp in the early part of the season, along with Lauren Agler, a rider from Durango in Colorado, as well as her coach, Carmen Small. But she's one of those riders that she does just enough work. She only contributes when she really needs to, and rightly so. She plays the game. She's clever. She doesn't want to waste any energy. At the back of this group, Samara Shepherd.
No way.
For some more
no way, Miss Elizabeth. Hey, I'll ride like 11 miles on my electric bike, but I ain't running nowhere.
Alia Shafi just having a little exchange of words with Sofia Gomez. Good chance for Kate Courtney just to try and listen in if she possibly can. What is being discussed? What's going on between
the two riders? Turn on TV. It looks like we're under a
year ago.
Thunderstorm watch right now. We're not even included. So, but I have the TV on just in case.
Gomez just showing her experience there. Just asking.
Could you imagine doing 6 hours on a bicycle?
Just to give.
It's crazy.
A little beep when they're getting to some of the Gran Fondo riders, just so that they know that the race is.
Of course, they do some extensive training to be able to do these races.
Under a minute now. So they're already eating into the gap of Lauren Stevens. Of course, Kylie Hannell sitting on the back, free ride. That could be really interesting when we get closer to the finish. It's like Aaliyah's willing to work. Kaylee Preen is willing to work. Obviously, Kate has already done a lot of work.
I'll throw that plug in down at the bottom.
And Lauren DiCrescenzo were suffering a little bit. So
got a couple different banners already set up. You can do the live discussions banner.
Yeah, and just moments ago, we saw Aliyah
Can do
Shafi
the
and Sophia
buy me a
Gomez
coffee
having an
banner.
exchange of words, whether they're wanting to try and plot
Anybody want to
something
call
or
in
a little bit
live?
of
There's the
political
banner for
discussion.
that. But it's active. You could call, but not that I'm gonna bring you into it right now. So,
trying to keep the race fair. That's.
but you can make different banners for your streams too. By the way, you're into
yeah. Look, Sophia's really given it
in your StreamYard.
Committed. She's in this for the win.
The hunger's there after that third place last year. The hunger's there, and she knows she's got the physical capabilities to take the victory. And now she's getting into a situation where, because it is such a long race, Levi, you've got to be really mindful. You've got to really conserve your energy.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've heard her talk about the fact that she learned a lot from last year, and she does want to come back and win this. Aliyah Shafi's there, second place last year. She won the sprint for second in a similar group of what we see now behind Lauren Stevens.
And there's so much at stake. I mean, I know I can vouch for it coming from when I was racing. If you had a few £100 as a prize purse, then it was already a success, and you might have to share it with your teammates and what have you. And even in the Women's World Tour now, some of the prize pots are maybe only a few €1,000. So
there's my YouTube channel. For those of you that may be watching me on X only, you can actually see me on YouTube. Make sure you go give me a subscribe on my YouTube there. It helps my channel out. Again, it's my very first ever live YouTube X stream ever. So I appreciate 179 of you being here,
it's a great
watching live.
Athletes, men and women here today,
and we're only hoping to grow from here.
Right now with the women, I can tell you, I mean, I know these roads really well. That group is not far behind. I'm seeing 51 seconds right now is the gap. So slowly eating into that lead. And Lauren's got a long ways to go. And I was just out doing quick interviews with the men, and I think it was Marcus or someone said, yeah, there was a headwind. So, and Sophia's on the attack. She's not happy with the cooperation in the back.
So fast overtaking the traffic.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's not great when it comes to eating in the lead of Lauren Stevens, because
she means business at this point, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Says I have a current 181 viewers in here live. I only have 184 subscribers on YouTube, so all but 3 of y'all are here, and I appreciate every single one of you.
She's getting a little bit impatient then at this point, because she wants to be able to close the gap. She knows what's on the line. She wants to take the win in the growler after the podium.
I was telling everybody earlier that,
just impatience that she wants
hopefully
to try and start
in the future we'll start doing other things too.
Keeping it together, keeping it cohesive. Everybody goes through and fully commit and do their turn.
Yeah, that's a good question. I can't answer. I don't know how everyone's feeling. Like I said, these riders, they know how they're feeling. They have a sense of how the others are feeling, and they have to calculate that and make their own strategy. I think she's not happy with a couple of the riders that are trying to sit on the back, and she wants to close this gap.
Sometimes the scenario can change when you've seen a couple of riders either make an acceleration from a chasing group, the cohesion completely fades, and whilst the gap comes down momentarily, everybody's looking at each other, and everybody's very cautious, and then consequently the gap ends up going back over a minute or so.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it has come down 49 seconds, so that attack.
Okay, we are officially under a tornado watch.
was eating into her lead, but
just for the record.
Then do they slow down after that and give up even more time? But it looks like she's fully committed, and it looks like Kate Courtney is there she's there for it as well. But not everyone is. And whether that's tactical or they just don't have the legs, we don't know.
Thank you, my friend, for being here. I appreciate you. Thanks for the comments. Have a safe drive and have a good trip at the game.
And the strong time trialist and the former winner of the Pan American Road Race.
I appreciate you.
Occasions, is looking to try and make this back-to-back victories in the growler.
Haley Preen looks really good.
She does.
Like the position on the bike, the pedaling style. I still see energy in the pedal stroke.
Courtney perhaps not coming through with as much urgency as the others at this point. When you see Preen go through, Gomez go through.
Yeah, it did seem like that. But then, not long before she was fully committed. Yeah, maybe we can get a shot from behind that chase group to get a better view of maybe what some of those riders are doing, like sitting on or. Yeah, so we got Lauren DiCrescenzo, Kylie Hannell. They haven't taken any turn. Obviously, Kylie's not going.
Fair warning. I just found out that you can actually ban people's comments. You can remove the comments.
Surely the chalk climb is a perfect opportunity.
Pretty good. So
to try and go.
Anybody want to get a little crazy, hey, one day we'll have moderators once I figure all that out. Again, just sitting here watching this race, I'm figuring some stuff out as I go. So that's the whole purpose of it.
Right now, why can't you help us? It looks like she convinced her.
That's all it takes. A little sweet talking to get riders to continue to be cohesive and start to work.
She certainly, Lauren's obviously proved herself to be strong, like on a long, hard day. She's got that fatigue resistance you mentioned earlier and kind of that diesel engine. She doesn't falter. So I would think that she has the energy to contribute to this chase. But people are on good days and bad days. I think the lead is back up to a minute now. Yeah,
so there's the link to the stream if anybody wants to join in or come on stream with me. Like I said, I got to figure all this stuff out. So anybody who's wanting to join and learn a little bit of the StreamYard stuff during a live stream, we definitely do that in 14 miles. So
she's starting to contribute.
We're about 1 minute away from being 3 hours, 3 whole hours for our very first stream, y'all. 189 people in here.
This acceleration with 22.7 kilometers to go. She's got a deficit of 59 seconds to the lone leader out front, Lauren Stevens. And Gomez has decided she's had enough. She wants to try and break away. She doesn't feel that the cohesion is there as she wants it to be in this group, and she wants to try and make this difficult. She wants the win in the growler, and she's going right after it, but she's closely marked by Samara Shepherd in that black jersey.
Yeah, a lot of times it's the case of she could be the strongest one right now in that group, and they just can't contribute as much as she can right now.
One thing I realized earlier today,
but that could be the case. They're just doing the best they
you
can.
know, I was like, I don't know if I want to do a stream. You know, I'm one of these people, before I leave the house, I take a shower and comb my hair and look presentable. I realized all you got to do is throw on a ball cap.
Really, isn't it? The fact that
that's the easy way to fix your hair. So just as you get older, these are the little tips that'll help you, I guess. It's easier just throwing a ball cap. And if you're willing to come on a stream and not care what other people think about you, hey,
yeah, and impatience and
just on a ball cap,
they can really get in your way and lead to bad decision making. Trying to stay calm and patient is an attribute, an asset that usually pays off.
Well, I can hear things really starting to ramp up at the finish line with Dave Toll, and I know a lot of the Gran Fondo riders are thoroughly enjoying themselves in the festival at the town green, with a lot of the partners, the sponsors of the event, Savello, as well as Skipstone and Scratch Labs, as well as others. It's so important, but also the local businesses. I just want to quickly touch on that before we really get into the deep section of this race and the decisive moments, Levi. How important this event all round, not just the elite races, but the Gran Fondo is for the local businesses here in Sonoma County, and in particular in Windsor.
Yeah, Windsor has been a great partner to work with. They welcomed us with open arms, and they make it super easy for us to put on the event. I saw the mayor this morning on the start line, and super appreciative of the hard work we do, and we're super appreciative of the support that they give us, and believing in the vision that we have to show the world what this area is all about, how amazing it is to come and ride your bike and sample the food and the wine. And I mean, this place is known for its beer as well, and just an incredible place. The ocean and the redwoods and the mountains, and as you can see right now, you guys need to come check it out, because I've been all over the world racing my bike. Very fortunate to see.
This is the growler race in Sonoma, California. This is live. The stream that I'm rebroadcasting here is live.
Really excited.
The men's race is already finished, and I don't remember who the winner was because my memory is bad.
Brilliant.
And the women have 12.9 miles left.
And so welcoming as well. What a great community around here. Well, the gap is over 1 minute and 5 seconds for Stevens.
So they're on Chalk Hill Road now. Yeah, we're again minutes away from the last quote unquote climb of the day. We'll see what happens in this group on that climb. That'll be the most interesting part. I see Sophia definitely trying to get away there, break it up, and throw in that last Hail Mary to go and catch Lauren Stevens. And you never know, Lauren could really start to falter at the end. I think she was last year really suffering at the end. So far she looks good, but we still have a long ways to go.
And it's been a long time out front on her own as well. And at some point, maybe she will start to feel the effects of the fatigue really set in at the point where this group is really active. You never know who's wanted to try and make a move on that short, steep climb.
Again, this is like 130-mile ride.
Constantly tracking the
race. I won't call it a ride.
She knows
I call
that
her
at
rides.
some point Gomez is going to
Downhill and easy.
escape. She's got
this is a race.
away. And Shepherd, she's identified the potential tactic of the Argentinian.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they're fully committed behind. You're going to run out of time to go and get Lauren.
It's basically now that they really need to start to eat into that deficit, isn't it?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, they're rolling through pretty well, but that gap's not coming down. The chalk hill starts to get a little lumpy here, so this could be a telltale sign even before we get to that that significant pitch that's left.
Okay, 11.7 miles to go. I definitely don't want to cut it off just because I know if some of you are here, 195 of you are here watching, I want you to see the rest of the race. So I'll at least carry it through the rest of the race so y'all can see it before I cut away from this stream. And then we'll check and see what else is going on out there. And we may do another stream. We may keep this one going. So again, feel free to leave any comments. We are live on the X and the YouTubes right now. So
number one, making sure everyone's safe, and you know, in that situation there, we don't want someone on a shorter route with not as much experience as Lauren Stevens to get on the wheel and put themselves in a position where they might crash or crash her,
and put them at risk as well. So yeah, absolutely quite right, and they'll still have the 7 kilometer watch party.
Yeah.
Right. So
exactly.
they're all going to get the chance once they get to the 7 kilometer to go marker that they'll be pulled over. They can watch roadside, wait for the elites to pass, and then they can get back underway and complete the Gran Fondo. As Aliyah Shafi, well, she's trying to instill some cohesion into this group, trying to get them to work.
Yeah, I know the gap is it is accurate. It's a minute and 11 seconds, but when I see these images, I know these roads really well. She's not that far ahead. They might be able to see her soon.
Those long straight sections of this course are really going to pay and play into the benefit and the hands of the chasers behind.
Yeah.
Because they'll be able to see Stevens up ahead. I mean, it totally changes your mindset.
Absolutely. They'll get the sense that she's falling apart and going slower, and they'll smell blood.
Yeah, and then it's up to Kylie Hannell to try and disrupt things.
Yeah.
If that does happen.
Be ready to go on the attack.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let me mute this right now while it's still, we got 10.5 miles to go. So let me see what y'all think of this. Right now I'm using what's called clean mic. So is everybody hearing it good? And it's well. Let me switch to another mic here.
This one's pretty wild. Pretty wild, huh?
How about my announcer voice? That one's pretty wild to hear also.
This is a good one too. It's crazy to think that you can change your voice so that people hear you differently, and they'll never actually know who you're talking to, right?
And how about now? Okay. Back to my good clean voice. Well, I don't know if that's truth. It is me, though. This is the real me. Y'all see me? This is the real me you're hearing. The mic's right here at the very end of my finger. Can you see it? I don't know if you can see it or not. I thought I heard somebody behind me. I thought somebody trying to sneak up on me. Oh, let me turn the race back on. Y'all can't hear it. Hold on one second. Here we go.
Myself, one of them. I mean, I can think of some over time. David Miller, he always looks so good on a bike.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just kick the pedals over.
Yeah.
Frank Vandenbroek.
Yeah.
Matthew Vanderpool. I mean,
yeah,
what
completely.
style.
Absolutely.
And I think Lauren looks great on the bike and very efficient, relaxed, and it really pays off in a race like this. You know, here either she's giving it everything she's got, or she is starting to hurt. That looked like a little different style to me.
And only now we start to see a very minute little rock and roll in the hips and the shoulders.
Yeah.
But it's not a surprise after so much elevation, so many kilometers, and such a long time out front alone.
That's the link if you wanna come on.
Lost some of the.
Let me know and I'll get you on here.
They've lost some time.
I'll keep it up for a few seconds.
They're starting to save it for what's about to come around this corner with that chalk hill climb that I keep talking about. But we didn't see any action there from the men. And I'm talking to top three afterwards. Kent Ross was very surprised that Marcus did not try to attack on that bump. He told me Marcus looked fantastic all day long on all the climbs, and he really expected him to go. And he kind of thought for a second maybe he lost his own chance to go on that climb because he kept anticipating Marcus to go. So we'll see what happens here with the girls.
It's going to be very, very interesting, isn't it? It really is. And for some of those riders in that chasing group of 7, they know that they need to get rid
8.8 miles to go.
But also, they've got a 1:33 deficit to have to eat into. Time's running out, kilometers are running out. Even if Steven starts to fade, she's still got enough in hand. I mean, ordinarily you would say 1 minute per 10 kilometer has always been the rule of thumb, give or take.
Yeah, but that's with a full peloton
but that's with,
chasing.
exactly.
Yeah.
New time gap at 1:42. It's not going the way of the chasers behind.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens right here on this climb and the group behind. That's going to be the most interesting part.
Well, as things stand, she's looking set to take back-to-back victories in the Growler, which is no mean feat.
Not unprecedented, though.
No, it's not. It's not. Svensson already doing the double in 24 and 25.
I think she just started up the last
they seem to be looking
hill to climb.
For Hannel, it's
if I remember correctly.
She's in a situation here where she's rubbing her hands, licking her lips. She's saying, right, this is perfect for my teammate Stevens. For the others, it's almost a case of if they make an attack, not when.
Hey, Chandel, 1243. Yo, appreciate you being here.
Who do you think's going to go first, Hannah?
I'd like to see Shepherd go, to be honest. I feel like she's potentially got the legs. I feel perhaps Kate Courtney is she knows she could be one of the fastest from this group, and maybe she's just waiting. But again, I think she's really ridden herself into this race, and despite going through a bit of a troubled time earlier on, she's come through strong, and she's managed to get over some of the most difficult key moments on the parkour. And I do think
197 viewers. Y'all got 3 friends to bring. Let's hit 200 for our first ever live stream.
Of course,
go find your friends.
Sprint at the end, and perhaps she might be
send them a link.
She might be
tell them to get in here.
Happy with a podium place and a second place. She knows she can win the sprint from behind.
Yeah,
the one who should fully just commit and really believe in herself is Gomez in the red jersey.
Yeah, I would expect Sophia to give it a go. Nothing to lose at this point.
Yeah.
Seems like she still has the legs to do so. But now that she's in back, she's out of position. We'll see around this corner. Maybe she's...
Okay, we're right at 8 miles. Huh? She's going.
Here she goes, Sophia Gomez, who's looking to try and make a move and try and make a dent in a bid to try and win the growler. Things are starting to get a little bit busy, and in the chase, it's Kate Courtney who's immediately trying to react to Gomez.
Great attack. Immediately, Kylie Hanel's in trouble. Lauren DiCrescenzo's in trouble. Again, she doesn't have that punch, and Aliyah she has lost the wheel. And they're the 3 strongest riders.
Look at this. Preen, who has been sublime all day, has managed to get herself onto the wheel of Gomez. Courtney's there, and she puts in one more dig just to try and establish this trio. Gomez starting to suffer. A little bit overgeared currently, Gomez.
Still think they're like a minute and a half behind the leader.
Drags on just a little bit longer.
Should show right here. She's at 7.6. Left to go.
I mean, they've got some time to recover, but you know, you could possibly lose the wheel there in the last like 30 meters of that climb and not come back. It would be just agonizing to do so, but it's a possibility.
"12 kilometers to go, 7.5 miles for Stevens."
Yeah, it'd be nice to see what's happening behind. I know that they're on the limit.
Each and every small rise, Stevens just attacks, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Little out of the saddle, get back on top of the gear. Little acceleration, gets herself back into the saddle, in the drops, gets herself into a real comfortable position. So effective.
I'll turn the comments back on. So if anybody wants to drop a comment for everybody to see, if you're a YouTuber or if you have an X and you want to share your handle, feel free to right there. Let's get some people following each other. That's how you grow.
We seem to have lost our time gap, but I know it's not necessarily closer.
I'm truly amazed that some of my
142 before, so even if after that injection it's come down,
followers have not, from X especially, have not dropped their handles there for even making a comment, just so that other people can see it.
But the good thing is there's
if you're following,
amongst these 3 now, the 3 strongest,
feel free to drop your handle in a comment. Just make a comment. It'll automatically put your @ handle so that other people can follow you.
Give it everything they got. They've got 11 kilometers, and you know, Lauren does still look quite strong, but you never know. She's certainly, she's definitely feeling it. You can see just in her body language how she's hunched over the bars. She's low, rocking and rolling a little bit. She's asking for how many you're chasing. They're giving her as much information as they can. Hopefully that these 3 get the same amount of information.
This is great to see in this chase now. Preen, Gomez, and Courtney all working well together to try and close this large, rather sizely gap to Lauren Stevens. 10.2 kilometers to go.
Yeah, and those three are working really well together.
This is exactly what they needed, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. The question is it too late? I think we will definitely see the gap come
46
down.
seconds.
Wow.
Wow.
Is that right? I think it is. Our timing has been accurate all day when we get it. And so if that's right, they have just taken a huge chunk.
That's almost a minute they've taken out of the lead.
I'm trying to use my local knowledge of these roads to do a guesstimate. Yeah, I think it's closer to a minute 46. I think we have it right now.
I was going to say that would have been quite the turn up to shave off a minute. But nevertheless, you never know in the closing kilometers here what Stevens will be going through. If she starts to fade, if she starts to really feel that fatigue, cramp starts to
Okay, we're under 6 miles left.
If they can continue in
the leaders there on the left,
start to play games
the chase group is a minute and 41 seconds behind, and that's them on the right. Second image there.
They're absolutely flying along.
Yeah, in a section of road like this, where the two behind get a real rest out of
Hey,
it.
we passed 200. We got 203. I appreciate all of you.
Through with so much more power than Lauren, for example.
If you're seeing me live on X,
it's a slingshot
tag me
effect, and the speed behind of the three.
and let me know you're seeing me.
That slight downhill like that. That's where they can really eat into the lead of Lauren. She's almost into the city limits of Windsor.
The thing for these three riders here in this situation, if they manage to stay away from the others who they were formerly with, Shepherd, Hannell, and Shafi as well, someone's going to miss out on the podium here.
Yeah.
So again, tactics start to play into this one. Somebody's going to miss out on being on the podium.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And I don't know enough about. It's always hard to tell when it comes to the gravel races, because a lot of them they don't end in sprints.
Yeah.
I mean, Sophia did just win that sprint against Lauren and Sea Otter last week, but it's a very technical off-road, sandy finish that requires that constant practice on those conditions, and I think that was the advantage that Sophia had over Lauren. So not necessarily just all about power in the legs, but bike handling. So it's going to be difficult to tell who of these three is the quickest.
Okay, we're coming up on 4 miles left. She's got 4.4 now, and she's a minute and 39 seconds ahead of the first chase group.
With 100 meters to go, that could cost you if you go in third place, or you don't carry enough speed. That can really cost you.
Yeah, I think ideally, you go through that last turn, that last roundabout in first, second, third would be difficult to come around two riders, because you're going through that roundabout in single file line.
Lauren Stevens passes the watch party. 6.6 kilometers to go for the American, the 39-year-old, looking to try and take back-to-back victories in the growler. She's currently being chased down by Kate Courtney, Sophia Gomez, and Haley Preen, who trail at 1 minute and 37 seconds.
Okay, they're still pushing on.
Courtney flicks the elbow, hands over to Gomez, who comes through.
Yeah, those three look really strong still. I'm really impressed with Kate's day. You know, like we saw her suffering earlier on, and it really didn't look like she was doing well at all.
When do you think they're going to make their push at the 3 mile mark?
To hang off the back a little bit,
of course, they're a minute and 35 seconds behind, so
and on
the leaders only got 3.5 miles to go. So
she might be
at some point, they got to start pushing.
But she's also got a good turn of speed on her as well.
I think so.
Sort of
I'm really excited to see.
Likewise, likewise.
I want to sign up to be one of these motorcycle drivers. I think that'd be fun.
It sure seems like Lauren has not faltered at all. She looks solid. She's obviously giving it everything she's got, but the gap is not.
Say that chase rider there in the white, she seems to be trying to pull away a little bit there. You can see she's putting the power to it.
Years and years and years of racing at the top of the sport, racing in the women's world.
Red's definitely putting in some work now too.
She's still
less than 3 miles to go.
She also knows exactly how to peak for big events in a season. So she's got so much experience.
And I also think that over time you sort of learn like how fast is what's possible out of yourself and other riders, and you get this feeling. It's an art form of how to push yourself and how to pace yourself and know that what's possible. Like you can feel when, oh man, I'm not doing well, I'm slowing down, and most likely they're going to catch me, because all the experience you've had, you know how fast other riders can go. And I don't mean specifically each rider. I just mean as a whole, a general idea. So she obviously paced herself super well, and
is
faltering to me at all.
Is the volume from the commentators okay? I barely have it on. I don't want to blast nobody out by turning it up anymore. So y'all let me know if it's okay, if you can hear it from whatever you're hearing it from.
Smile starting to appear on the face of Lauren Stevens, because she only has 4 kilometers to go, with an advantage of 1.5 minutes over the 3 chasers behind, between her and back-to-back victories here at Levi's Gran Fondo in the growler. Barring any incident, any mechanical, she's got it in the bag.
Is that a smile or a grimace that we see?
Yeah, exactly. No doubt a combination.
She knows the time gap. She knows that she's just a few kilometers from the finish. She's got to be starting to feel really good about this.
And what's this? 50 kilometers in a solo breakaway since she made that move. it's exceptional to hold off such riders from behind and to open up such an advantage. Gomez, flick of the elbow. She knows that she's racing for the second place, looking to try and go one better than a year ago. And Preen looking poised to try and get herself onto the podium.
Yeah, and they get a time gap update. That can't be music to their ears at this point.
It must be quite disheartening as well when they have been working solidly since they went over that climb. So disheartening to still hear that despite all of the work you're doing, you've actually only gained 15 seconds.
Yeah. Kate still looks good to me.
Yeah.
It will be interesting to see who wins this sprint for second place.
It just makes my arms and hands go numb just watching him.
Has the experience of having done this sprint last year.
Yeah.
So I think that that's going to pay off when it comes through that last roundabout.
Form-wise, Preen's looking good. Looking like she's in a situation, the rider in the white jersey from Cape Town in South Africa, looking to try and gain the second place on the podium. But she's going to have strong opposition with Gomez and Courtney. And meanwhile, Stevens only has 2.1 kilometers to go. She's going to go under the highway, make that little loop, and then she'll enter into Windsor itself.
Okay, coming up on 1 mile left.
Left turn on Old Redwood Highway. We'll see. I think that you can see the chase behind. They're not focused on trying to catch her at all.
Now they're thinking about the podium.
Yeah, they're not going to catch her.
How can I secure second?
1 mile.
How can I secure third? But then it comes with the added worry from behind. What's been happening in the chase behind with Shafi, with Samara Shepherd, also with Kylie Hannell, who's just able to follow the wheels. Also Lauren De Crescenzo. And if they have been still working well together, are they far away from the chasing trio? Perhaps not.
Yeah.
And so that gives them an opportunity to almost come from behind and surprise them.
That's a good question. It'd be nice to know where they are, if they're close or not. I'm guessing they're not. Otherwise, we would have a camera on them.
Yeah.
And you can see the gap is quite large. I mean, the chase has not even gotten to that, not arrived to the left turn that we saw Lauren go through quite a while ago now.
$1,000 meters to go for Lauren Stevens in a pursuit to try and win back-to-back growlers here at Levi's Gran Fondo. What a display of strength, power, and determination. She picked a moment. She goes through the final roundabout. She'll take it straight on here, under the second exit. 500 meters to go for Stevens. Levi, what a performance this has been from Lauren Stevens.
Yeah, truly dominating. Just a carbon copy of last year. All the girls behind knew it was coming, and they couldn't do anything about it. You know, I thought maybe they would try to work together in the end, but you know, that's really hardly ever works out, because there's just not everybody's has the energy left or even wants to contribute. So to do what she did again is quite impressive. It's a great shot we get to see of her coming home for the win.
Well, the fans are waiting at the finish line. Lauren Stevens takes the final
There's the finish line.
50 kilometers solo out front. And Lauren Stevens, the 39-year-old, makes it back-to-back wins in the growler. A sensational performance, a display of dominance.
Good job.
And she takes the win in the 2026 edition.
I would just fall over right there.
Great display of teamwork. She has Kylie Hannell to thank as well, because they work so well together. And behind, it's between this trio who will take second and third.
We'll watch this because this is going to be we'll see the attack come on. Watch one of the girls, and probably the red or the blue is going to definitely just take off here in a second. Try to blow by the girl in the lead, the woman. That's second, third, and fourth places right there. So depends on who steps it up here. As soon as they come around this corner, you're going to see them.
Maybe go straight out of the roundabout.
Yeah, maybe. I think maybe at this point they're all
when they make that right-hand turn.
Again, though,
you're getting ready to jockey for positions.
Roundabout. My guess is Sophia's going to attack any second.
Gomez in the red jersey. She knows that she has got.
I think the blue one's going to go for it.
She knows
see her cranks. She's starting to put in a little work. There she goes. See, told you.
She's really shown us hard. Kate Courtney goes on the left-hand side. That is what Kate Courtney has been waiting patiently to do. She will know she wants to try and take the final right-hand turn.
She better get the pumping on it.
Right on the wheel.
Red's going to go by. Oh.
It's Courtney and Gomez shoulder to shoulder going all the way.
She called her and passed her.
It's Gomez who takes second. Kate Courtney settles for third, and Haley Preen finishes in fourth place. A fierce battle all the way for the podium, but look at the great respect that these two riders have between them.
Good job, ladies. Y'all made me tired.
Levi, what a finish.
Yeah.
And already, look at the respect that they all have between them, already dissecting the race.
Yeah, it's great to be a fly on the wall in this conversation.
Okay. Hey, you can't say that. You can't say shit on a live stream. Okay, I'm going to cut this stream right here. Hold on, they're still talking in my ears. Let me pause those ladies. Okay, our very first ever live stream, folks. We have 210 dropping like a rock. 210 people in here. I appreciate you all being here. I'm probably going to come back on live here in a little bit. I'm going to take a break and go grab something to eat real quick. And we'll probably get ready for some weather events here in a little bit. Now that we know what it takes to do it, we've been live. We've been live for 3 hours and 38 minutes so far. So again, I appreciate every one of you guys being here. Thanks for stopping in. Thanks for dropping the comments. Make sure you hit that like, share, and subscribe if you're on YouTube. Make sure you give it a like if you're seeing it on X. And again, I appreciate every single one of you. This is where I got to figure out how to do that buy thing.